Hello everyone, and welcome to... Is this the fifth episode of Mythrill Monthly now that I think about it?
Roughly, is it the
I think
fourth?
I think it might be the fifth. I'm pretty sure we have 4 episodes on the YouTube already. Which
Yeah, it's the
is...
fifth one.
Yeah, it's the fifth. That's fun. Oh, but yes, for anyone who is new, because well, I have a feeling we'd have quite a few new people now. This is the podcast that we do for the lore of the Mythrill SMP. We host it once a month on this Twitch channel, so that anyone who doesn't want to go through and read the copious amounts of words on the Discord can come here and have it read to them. So it's a bit more digestible, and sometimes we talk about fun little lore tidbits or fun facts, share little server info. We have special guests, our members who come on every now and then. It's very, very fun. It's very, very cute. And we hope that you all enjoy. Today's going to be interesting because obviously, once again, applications are open. And Elle, you can feel free to put that link in the chat whenever you like.
Yes.
But we are going to be going over the lore streams that we had for the end of Arc 2. And after we've gone through them all, we'll be doing a bit of a Q&A. So anybody who is new to the server can ask questions about stuff, or anyone who is old to the server and is a bit confused about something can get some clarification on things. We're going to be going through all of the stuff and things, and my brain is fried, so you have to bear with me. I am once again joined by my lovely co-host, El Pond Fairy. Can we get some hugs for El Pond Fairy, who we love, who we love?
Hi guys, it's me. I'm
Hi
back
guys,
again.
it's you. And I guess a little bit of I guess interest for the beginning of this is what you guys aware that OBS has updated and changed how it does imports and exports. They save in a
Don't get
different
us
format
started.
now. So I had to remake the entire Mythrill Monthly OBS layout in about 30 minutes. So if things look a little bit different than how they usually look, or are a little bit inconsistent or scuffed, please let me know. And blame OBS.
Yeah, just don't. It's not our fault. You can't hold us accountable.
You can't hold us accountable. It's OBS's fault. I don't know why they changed how exports and imports work. It's very silly. But yeah, before we go, I want to say thank you to the little people who helped with making this show possibility, such as Marsarcy, who is in the chat, who we love, who made both of our PNGs, as well as the PNGs for just any guest we have had on Mythrill Monthly, which has only been like Katie and Bagel, but still. We love Marsarcy so much. He is a very wonderful artist. We stan. Also, big thank you to Sky for doing the opening music. Sky makes all of the music for the SMP. Cute little OST. They're going to be posting all of the new soundtrack on the 27th, the soundtrack from Arc 2. So we're very excited to show that. Highly recommend checking out the Mythrill YouTube channel because it has links to just every member's content of the server that they put up there, whether it's VODs or edited content or Sky's music. It's all there. It's all great. Exclamation mark Mythrill to check that out because we have a card and it has all the stuff in it and it's great and it's lovely and it's wonderful. People already have questions. We'll get to the questions soon. We've got to go through the lore that's happened first, okay? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lore streams.
Yeah.
Some of them are short though. We're gonna be fine.
If you think you're gonna forget them, you can put them in chat and I will type them down probably.
Yeah, we can if people
just
have
for you guys.
Honestly, if people have questions, I highly recommend going to the Mythrill Discord and putting them in the Q&A form, and we will answer those as well. So if you feel like you're going to forget your questions by the time we go through the lore, put it in Q&A form, and we will go and look through all of those once we go through the things. But I think without further ado, we can start with the first lore stream that we have yet to talk about, Alone Demon. And before we do it, I will just say, this is episode 5. All of the lore over the course of Arc 2 has been recollected in lore streams on the Mythrill YouTube channel, so you can go and check those out. Arc 1 didn't have that. Arc 1 had a quarter of the amount of lore streams that Arc 2 did. So the recap video is all that is needed for that. We made a podcast because Arc 2 was too much.
We saw like the first like month and we're like,
We saw in the first 2 months that we almost had the same amount of lore streams that took place over the 6 months of Arc 1 and went, we need a better way to catalog this. That being said, an Arc 2 recap video is in the works. I am just slower editing because I've also been working on the server being updated to 1.20. We're getting there. We're getting there. Hopefully everything will be sorted before applications close. We're hoping. But A Lone Demon features the lovely half-demon Cambion Jelly, who, after their friend and sort of quote-unquote housemate, they live on the same island, Honey, ran off, Jelly's been trying to find evidence about who made the strange magical gashes in the ground around their home, as well as what's up with all of the cornflowers. As they attempt to discern the properties of each gash, coming up with nothing, they desperately try to find proof that Honey wasn't involved in their appearance, since Honey ran off, setting fire to the forest and holding a flint and steel. With no one coming forward to claim the prank as their own, not to mention the soft feathers they found littered around the beach that point directly to Honey, who is an angel, being the cause of it, it's becoming more and more difficult to ignore their possible involvement. Jelly just doesn't have a reason as to why they would do it, or how, even. Getting nowhere with their investigation, Jelly tries to touch the energy pulsating from the gashes, receiving a nasty shock for their efforts. Unable to figure anything else out, they decide to send a letter to Jay, my character, asking for their assistance, as Jay is a scholar who has been alive for 9,000 plus years at this point. Still worried Jay would be mad at them for running off after their last encounter, where Jelly found out Jay had stolen their name, accidentally, I am allowed. They try to find other options, but ultimately decide that talking to Jay will be their best course of action. With that, they draft a letter and then get some rest before they send it. And that was A Lone Demon, a nice little just catch-up stream that Jelly did. The next one's a little bit more. Should I continue with that one?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's on topic. So.
It's the follow-up basically, which is Loose and Fraying. And this is the follow-up to A Lone Demon. So, startling awake, Jelly realizes quickly that they slept in, rushing around the island to feed their pets. With their chores done, the half-demon makes their way to find Jay and drop off the letter they wrote the night before, only to bump into the Fae as she returns from looking around Sky, their wife's house. Context for new people, character Jay's wife Sky has been missing for several months, and no one knows where they are, so she was looking around her house. Deciding it was due time that they spoke to each other, the two head into the harbour to discuss some things at the local cat cafe. They catch up for a while, going over the recent goings-ons of the harbour before Jelly brings up concerning things happening around their house. The two decide to investigate, and as Jay and Jelly make their way there... sorry, this is worded. I worded this poorly. But before they make their way there, they have a little conversation about Bagel, as the other half-demon within the valley. Jay seems to believe they have something planned for Jelly after after they lost their mask previously in a other lore stream. Even though Bagel, now known as Lilith, no longer seems to care about the mask, Jay thinks that they might still be planning something to teach Jelly a bit of a lesson. Regardless, Jelly and Jay arrive at the island, and Jay is stunned into silence as they look around at the magical gashes covering the ground. The energy is so much and so potent that it's making them feel physically ill to be around it because they're very magic sensitive. And she describes the feeling as being electrocuted, which is so fun. The two of them spend some time looking around the island, with Jelly explaining what had happened with them and Jelly and how they haven't seen the angel since. Jay notes the excessive amount of cornflowers in the area, And knowing Honey wouldn't have been capable of creating something like that, Jay explains that something else must have happened to cause it, because Jelly would not be able to. Honey would not be able to, and Jelly agrees. At some point, Jelly notices their beloved horse, Beelzebub, has disappeared and starts to anxiously search the island for them. Around this time, Jay takes their leave and heads for a new destination, first to their home and then to the last known location that their wife was in. Finding a flower field that they had been looking in for buttercups, Jay soon stumbles across the lost flower crown of Sky, and then an entire field of cornflowers, reminding them vividly of the flowers around Jelly's and the tree at the Mythrill Temple, a location that we saw first time at the end of Arc 1. With this all being quite foreboding and making her jump to some not quite great conclusions, Jay can't help but fear for what's to come in the future. And that's the basic thing of that. I am doing a terrible job of reading these out right now. Elle, I need help.
It's okay. It's okay. I got it.
You got this, bestie, because our next one is a Ustream. And it is a question between stars. And this stream was supposed to happen at the end of a different one.
Yeah.
Originally, but because of other engagements, it got its own dedicated thing, which honestly might work better.
Probably, yeah. I mean, with what happened in that stream it was meant to be in, I don't think Artemis would have been up for it after.
So true, but you have the floor.
She's gone through too much. She's gone through too much, guys. So, this starts off as Isaac, also known as Bryce, obviously, if most people don't know. Isaac does write a letter to his patron, leaving it at the monument that he built, which is a kind of tree-looking thing. It's very nice. And he goes back into his house and he sees something behind his staircase underneath the dark of the stairs, which is a pair of eyes. Looking at them, he notices whose they are and decides to pay a visit to the said person, trying to get answers. As he leaves, he decides to check his mailbox one final time, seeing more rotten flesh within it. I'm just going to pause because there's an ad rolling on Twitch right now.
There's an ad rolling?
Yeah.
You're giving them rights by pausing for the ad?
Yeah, I'm pausing for the
I suppose whilst we pause for the ad, I'd like to pitch that we just go back and forth, because I think that works best with how the rest of these are laid out. And I'm very excited. Can we get the music a bit quieter? Of course, Mars, of course. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, I also gave you all rights. I hope you're all happy.
Thank you for the prime sub, Maple.
Okay, I gave you rights anyway, Maple. Don't you worry about it. Okay.
Oh.
So, as Isaac leaves his house and checks his mailbox one final time, he sees more rotten flesh inside that mailbox. I wonder who left that. He heads to his good friend Artemis's island. Sitting on the edge of their tower once more, Artemis is reading the most recent letter they had received from their fiancée, Loki. Isaac approaches from below, beckoning his friend to talk with him, and the two enter a discussion about the strange things he's found within his house. The eyes, mainly. After a moment of silence...
the rotten flesh casual, the eyeballs lurking under the stairs. Bit much.
Which one do you think is more normal?
They
showed up out of nowhere.
I mean, for someone on the server, the eyes would be more normal.
Yeah, I know.
It's Lilith.
I know. Oh, window, Kafka.
Lilith.
We
love Lilith.
After a moment of silence, Artemis reveals that she was the one to cast the spell, intending to keep an eye on Isaac to ensure his safety. Surprisingly, all right with it. He was all right with this, so long as it didn't stand to harm him in any way. Isaac asks for a full explanation. Artemis informs him that she was worried about him since Celine had taken an interest in the human, making her want to place a protection spell on him, but thinking it would be too invasive, leading them to do a spell to keep a watch on him just in case anything bad happened. Understanding her reasoning, Isaac forgives Artemis, and the two start to talk about magic. Eventually deciding to perform a protection spell on each other. That way, they can both ensure each other's safety. Intrigued about how Isaac's magic presents itself, believing it to be because of his unknown patron, Artemis suggests the reason might be to have more power over him. If Isaac has no idea who his patron is, he can't really do anything to stop them if they did something bad. Concerning Isaac more, mentioning he had left a note for his patron like Artemis, and Jay had suggested he hopes to get some more knowledge on his patrons sooner rather than later. Over a brief conversation about if any contact had been made with Charlie or not, who is a phoenix in the valley who's been there for 10,000 years.
And Phoenix's souls cannot be stolen. That will be important for later.
That is very important for later. Made with Charlie or not, and the elven ruins Artemis had been exploring for the past few months. The two part ways, and Artemis finally catches up on some much needed rest. She has not slept.
She does not sleep. She doesn't. You should replace your song on the Mythrill character playlist with "She Doesn't Sleep."
I think I debated doing that. I've changed them. I have changed them recently. Fun fact.
To your dreams and turn them into nightmares. A life she's gonna keep. Continue.
I've lost my place.
You got some much needed rest. Please continue before I start singing the entire song, because I will start singing the entire song, Elle. Please, but putting it in chat now.
1 minute,
I'm gonna
I can't. I can't.
You okay?
Give me a second.
Take a breath. Take a breath.
I've just lost. Oh, it's because, do you know on the left side how we have it all connected and that?
Yeah.
It's not on there. I'm looking on there and I couldn't find it.
I'm adequate. Are you go to Bittersweet Reunion? It's above there.
No, yeah, I found it. It's in between. It's just not on that left list.
Oh, it's so not. I'll add that. Don't worry. You just continue. You just continue.
No, I thought I hovered over it and deleted it, so I was like, oh.
Nah, you're good. It's you.
Artemis finally catches some much needed rest. Meanwhile, Isaac flies home with his glider, noting things had changed as he passes by the monument he had built to his patron. Gashes mark the earth. The leaves are wilder, amethyst replaced with Mythrill. Cornflowers are everywhere, and in place of his book is another. Stunned by silence, Isaac reads the letter, finding one simple sentence within. Soon you shall have the answers you seek. And that's the end of A Question Between Stars.
Now here's a fun fact for that stream for you all. I think I had just gotten off of work or something.
Yeah.
And I saw that you and Isaac were live. And whilst you were on your island, I decided to mess with the tree. So he didn't know that he was going to get a letter from his patron in that stream, or that anything was going to be different when he got there. I just did it. I just did it because I'm silly.
That was actually so the next one we are talking about happened on the same day as
it did, and there was a lot of stuff we had to work around to make those not like you have to use the never and you have to use
there was a lot of what if this happens, and it worked out fine in the end.
It
to be honest.
It did. There wasn't any issues.
It went with everyone's plans. So.
But this is a continuation of what Jelly was last seen doing in lore. So, still unable to find their beloved horse, Beelzebub, Jelly runs around their island only to be interrupted by Bagel's character, Lilith. Managing to drag them away from the island for a much-needed distraction, as they put it, Lilith takes Jelly for dinner in their newly built gazebo. The two make small talk as they travel, Jelly voicing their worries over the gashes at their home, Honey's disappearance, and their missing horse. After a long while, they arrive at the destination, but not before Lilith leaves some more rotting flesh in Faisuk's mailbox. We love that for them. The beef there, or I guess the rotten flesh there, is character Lilith has a thing for the deity Selene, aka Allura, and Allura invited Faisuk for dinner, and Lilith didn't like that. And it was very funny, and we did plan that intentionally, and it was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
As they sit down to eat, they talk about Lilith's mask, the one that Jelly lost, leading to another string of apologies and some questions about its importance. Did I put impotence on that list by accident? No,
Wait,
I didn't.
Hold up.
I think I spelled it wrong, but I don't think it says import. No, it says importance. I'm just dyslexic. Don't mind me.
I still love you though.
Assuming Jelly once more, assuring Jelly once more that she's better off without the mask, the conversation moves on to other things such as the auction and the heist Lilith pulled on said building. They stole a scythe. Realizing Lilith is also a half-demon, Jelly feels comforted knowing someone else in the valley is like them, making them feel much less alone. That was a horrible mistake, Jelly. Stating just how hungry they are, Jelly is offered a meal by Lilith, asking just how hungry they might be. And as Jelly is about to take a bite of the meal, they notice Lilith's devious smirk and unspoken analogy. I'm so hungry, I could eat a horse. And they instantly start to panic. Staring at the meal, believing it to be their beloved Beelzebub, Jelly's distraught as Lilith cackles behind them. Attempting to get them to eat it with no avail, Lilith keeps laughing as Jelly is on the verge of tears, eventually revealing that the meal was in fact not the Cambion's horse in the first place. Returning to the island, all the while telling Jelly the prank was a lesson for taking her mask, Lilith showed them where she had been hiding Beelzebub. Adamant that the joke was funny, despite Jelly's sad objections, Lilith leaves the island still cackling, passing by Physox on her way home. Spotting the cornflowers that had also been at Jelly's, Lilith decides to stir some trouble by framing the human for the gashes and at the other Cambion's place. Seeking back to the island, Lilith leaves a note for them about the theory, which Jelly finds. Finally heading home, Lilith gets some much-needed rest after being awake for so long. No idea the true extent of trouble she's just caused, as obviously, once she leaves Physox's home, he gets that message from his patron, and the gashes show up at his place as well, which was very fun coincidence. Definitely me being silly.
Whoa, why would that ever happen?
Why would that ever happen? But yeah, Lilith got retribution by making Jelly think they ate their horse. It gets darker.
Oh yeah, like the one I'm gonna be reading now is...
Let's do the final journal, which brief explanation for people. At the start of Arc 2, we found a journal written by Charlie, the immortal phoenix of the server, but they don't remember writing it because they have amnesia. They don't remember much over the past 10,000 years, to be honest, or of what came before that. So their journals are as much a mystery to them as they are to everyone else reading them, but the more they read, the more they remember of their forgotten past. And let's just say, since their past involves the Calamity, the event which destroyed the harbour 10,000 years ago, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. But with that, take the floor, Elle.
Having finally broken the magical enchantment on Charlie's journal, Jay heads to her beloved friend's house to convince them to come and find the final journal. Having sent a letter to Artemis beforehand, the half-elf makes their way there to Charlie's as well, to meet with her friends. Whilst convincing Charlie to leave their home, Jay inquires about her experience at the auction and is shown the items Charlie bought. Taking interest in a particular blue flower, Jay takes it for further examination with Charlie's permission.
Wonder what that's for.
I wonder.
Once
the three are together outside of Charlie's strange sewer home. They examine the drawing left on the final page, heading off towards Bean's Mushroom Island. Bean is an inventor who is on this very
they are
strange mushroom island.
Yes, they are a fawn hybrid inventor who washed up on the side of a mushroom island. There's a lot of lore and story around the place, but if you want to learn more about that, you're going to have to watch the last Mythrill Monthly episode from last month.
Heading off towards Bean's Island in hopes of finding another one of Charlie's lost journals. They chat as they make their way over to the island, Jay expressing her worry as Bean had previously been visited by Celine without realising. Heading through the Nether to reach the island quickly. As they reach the island and begin to explore, they talk about the recent events happening in the harbour, and how they hope this journal might give them an answer as to where Celine is and what she's been up to. Having been absent from the harbour since the auction, after a long search, they come across a collection of smaller mushrooms at the centre of which they find Charlie's missing journal. Sitting down to read the slightly charred book, it quickly becomes apparent it is written directly before the calamity, reciting how Charlie tried to convince Stephen to leave the valley after learning of the uprising being made against Warren, not wanting to get on the bad side of the god of creation.
Context quickly for Stephen. Yeah. Charlie was a part of an adventuring group called Atmosphere. They were time travelers. It's a little confusing. Stephen was their leader. All you gotta know, he didn't listen to her. You can go now.
Charlie decided to leave by themselves, making it to the Mushroom Island where the book was left. Upon hearing this, Charlie begins to freak out, believing Warren will come back and destroy everything once more. Jane and Artemis attempt to calm the Phoenix down, but Charlie is near hysterical, flying back to the portal and rushing to their bunker to hide. Left with the journal on the Mushroom Island, Jane and Artemis discuss other information mentioned in the book. How Stephen is a draconic sorcerer, Ava's father's involvement in the rebellion against Warren, the relation between the rebellion and the ancient cities Moon explored, and how Celine once took Charlie's form, going by the name Hive. The most confusing thing, Jay believes, is how Charlie made it all the way from the Mushroom Island back to the sewer when they were attempting to flee the valley.
This makes no sense.
It's crazy. It's wild, that.
That's wild, that.
They also discussed the more concerning things happening recently. The magical gashes appearing around honey and Physics. The suspicious appearance of cornflowers. The field sky disappeared in, and the ever-present feeling that something more is going on. Along with the looming threat of Celine, it's clear this is the calm before the storm. And if Charlie's fear is anything to go by, Celine might not be the only thing they need to worry about. With no point in theorising, Artemis and Jay head back to the harbour, with Jay attempting to communicate with Karma in her summoning room, whilst Artemis goes back to their home. Knowing danger looms on the horizon, Artemis writes a letter to her beloved fiancé, just in case the worst happens. The moon rises upon the valley as a mage attempts magic beyond most. Terrified within their bunker, Charlie awaits the end. But why is she so scared in the first place?
Bum bum bum. Me and my dramatic cliffhangers on lore catch-ups.
I love it. It's my favorite thing.
Me and my little writer brain being like, let's make this dramatic. Speaking of making it dramatic,
I think what I love about when you leave a cliffhanger is because I know what's happening anyway. So I'm like, yes, bestie.
All right, this next stream is one between Katie and Mars. Bit of background. Katie's character is a sea elf who got washed up in the valley and is not sure how to get home. Their attempts to get home, they started receiving letters from their family, only to realise that Mars had been writing those letters to them pretending to be her family. Why he did this is tied to him finding the only recorded information on sea elves that anyone outside of their own kingdom has, and finding something not quite great within those pages, but no one knows what outside of him. Since then, neither of the two have been talking, and they've both lost their souls to Celine for different reasons. Katie hoping that Celine will be able to show her the way home, and Mars because he was literally on death's door. With that context in mind, we bring you Piecing Together, which is referred to as that because all of the rest of their streams are alluding to Shattering Glass. Because, well, in the lore catch-ups at least, the actual stream names are different, but I like to be fancy. Anyway.
Best.
Having received a vaguely threatening letter from Celine demanding the Sea Elf book be brought to the casino's office, Mars begrudgingly makes his way through the harbour to make his delivery. Meanwhile, Katie is sent a much nicer letter asking her to come to the casino in order to discuss her and Celine's deal in more detail. Arriving in the office, Mars finds a book describing vessels, soulless people, tauntingly waiting for him. As he finishes reading the extract, Katie enters the room and is immediately angered upon seeing him, even more so when Celine locks the entrance behind her. Two besties locked in a room, what will they do? Scream. Unable to leave and with Celine nowhere to be found, the two are forced to talk to one another, something they haven't done since their fight. They talk about Celine, the auction, their friend Rose, and how the two of them became soulless. Katie shares her frustration over people being wary of her now, stating that she feels no different after losing her soul, but Mars disagrees. Mars finally tells Katie about his illness, how he would have died from it if Celine hadn't intervened. Even then, his deal isn't very safe, as though he now feels fine, his sickness is still present. If he gets his soul back, he will die. And also because of the nature of being a vessel and this sickness still being there, he's at great risk of becoming a monster should he not be cured. Because vessels cannot die, but the more damage that a vessel's body takes, the less, normal they are. That's basically how skeletons and zombies are made in the Mythrill universe, is people lose their souls and then sustain too much damage and devolve, basically, into those forms. I guess creepers as well, because I don't know where they came from, so we're just going to say the same thing. Alright, with that little lore fact, after hearing this, Katie softens, but she still refuses to forgive Mars for what he did. She's trying, but she can't understand what would make Mars do something so horrible, writing letters to her pretending to be her parents, which Mars understands. He tells Katie that he loves her, that he never meant to hurt her, and that he expects no forgiveness for what he did. But he asks for a chance to show her why he did it. Clutching the Sea Elf book tightly, Mars reveals he found it after their first fight, passing it to Katie and telling her that she'll understand once she reads it. Taking a seat at the desk, Katie begins to read, finding most of the information useless. Nothing within the book gives her a location to the Sea Elf Kingdom, no directions to return to her home, and nothing explaining Mars's actions. Reaching the last page, the section of Sea Elf laws, Katie learns the horrible truth. Sea Elves are prohibited from leaving their kingdom. Even if accidentally, all Sea Elves who leave the confines of the kingdom lose their memories of how to return home. Any who manage to find their way back to the kingdom are executed with no exception. If Katie ever returns home, ever sees her parents again, she will be killed. Twirls my hair, planned that from the start. I'm evil.
I know you are, but I love you.
Mortified by the news, Katie begins to spiral as Mars watches silently, realizing Celine had lied to her when she took Katie's soul. She starts yelling for Celine to show herself as she breaks down, knowing that she will never be able to see her family again, not knowing what to do without them. Mars suggests she figures out who she wants to be, learns to live outside of her family and to be herself, to which Katie agrees but is unsure of where to start. Wanting to be helpful, Mars lists all the things he loves about Katie, her humor, her creativity, curiosity, including every detail no matter how small. He tells Katie that she improves the lives of everyone she talks to just by being around them. For a moment, it feels like all the bad things have never happened, like their friendship had never been fractured in the first place. Still unable to leave the office, Katie admits to Mars that she that she's been having nightmares, making her feel hopeless and confused. She's afraid of herself, of what she might do, of what she can't remember, of what she might become. But Mars does his best to comfort her. Conversation shifts. The two joke and mock Celine, but eventually Mars warns Katie of getting on Celine's bad side. They continue to talk for a while, Katie growing more and more frustrated at being locked in the office, till Mars approaches the back of the wall of the room in what is my favourite moment in any stream.
It's great. It's absolutely great.
With a final note that it was nice to talk to her again, and that he hopes she isn't too angry about what he's about to do, Mars hits the button on the wall. With the secret passage now open, Mars heads through and leaves, Katie left staring in shock, realizing he knew how to leave the entire time. With no point in keeping them trapped anymore, the door to the office finally opens just as Katie turns around, deciding to head home after such an emotional day. Yes, Mars saw Artemis and Jay's character come through that passage into the auction house building in a previous stream. And he knew there was an entrance there, so
he
put two and two together. He might have been through there before, I suspect. So
probably.
He'd been staring at that wall the entire stream and just being like, I could leave. Should I leave? Should I show her that we can leave? And just didn't because he misses his best friend. He misses his best friend, Elle.
Yeah, so do I.
I miss their friendship. They're so precious.
Oh, Arc 3 though.
Arc 3. Oh, Arc 3 though. But we're on Arc 2, and the next one is A Protector's Grief, which is a follow-up from the stream where we found Charlie's final journal.
Yeah, okay. Ooh. This is going to be an interesting one.
This is a long one.
Ooh, yeah, I know. It's not that. It's emotional.
Oh, true. Okay. Go, bestie.
Yeah. Having spent the past 4 days attempting to contact Karma, Jay is startled by Artemis entering her secret summoning room. As it had been several days since they saw Charlie, having run off after reading their last journal and learning of what had caused the calamity, Artemis decided it was time they try one last time to convince Charlie to leave their bunker and help them oppose Celine. Feeling more hopeful after finally making contact with Karma, the two head towards Charlie's sewer. Having been panicking within their bunker for the past few days after blocking off the entrances to her home, Charlie goes around checking her resources, making sure things are secure. It doesn't take long for the Phoenix to realize her beloved sheep, Clive, is no longer within the bunker, sending them into another frenzy. Exiting the bunker and heading back to the train station sewer, Charlie anxiously searches around trying to find her friend. Heading to the back of the sewer, standing above the closed entrance of Charlie's home, Jay and Artemis discuss what they should do. Understanding Charlie's fear and dreading what the future will bring more than ever. However, they both agree that hiding won't help anyone. There are people to save and lives at stake. They need Charlie, and she needs them too. But the fear consuming them won't let them act. Unsure of what to do, but knowing time isn't on their side, Artemis and Jay enter the sewers. Looking around, they are quick to realise that something's different. A bright light peeking out of the amethyst geode at the back area. Heading down the tunnel, they discover Charlie and Clive standing within a hall of Mythrill, memorials to all of the residents of the valley lining the walls. Shocked by the morbid yet beautiful display, Artemis and Jay confront Charlie as they attempt to make sense of what surrounds them. Charlie states that the memorials are their way of remembering everyone, how they don't want to forget again, and how if no one will join them in the safety of the bunker, then they might as well be dead. Being on the surface, being exposed to him, is a death sentence. Try as they might, Jay can't convince Charlie to leave. Ever sure of the bunker's safety and how it will protect them from Warren, just as it has before. However, their debate is interrupted as Artemis discovers something. Amongst the memorials, Sitting upon the podium before the memorial representing Atmosphere, the adventuring group Charlie was once part of long ago, sits a book. One not written by Charlie. Picking it up, Artemis begins to read, but none of them are prepared of what they learn. The book describes the aftermath of the calamity, more specifically what happened to Charlie. But it isn't another one of her journals. As they read, it becomes more and more apparent who wrote the book. Warren. Pages upon pages describe the horrors that took place within the sewers they stand within. Years and years of torture and pain, much to the gods' delight, all with the goal of removing Charlie's memories of Warren's biggest failure, Mythrill Valley. Memories fractured, Charlie releases a horrifying truth. Warren gets in. He left the book. He's been in the bunker. It's not safe there. It's not safe anywhere. Comforted by her friends, Charlie decides she wants to leave. To do something more than hide after realizing how hopeless it would be. Together with Clive, they take the tunnel to Artemis's island. Things begin to calm down as they look around the house Artemis made for Charlie, discussing more light-hearted things before reaffirming the current state of things. They need to figure out what Celine, Allura, as they learned within the book, is planning. They need to stop her, and they need to prepare, for despite how high their stakes already are, it's becoming more and more apparent that more terror lies within the land. They're in the calm before the storm. It won't be long before the lightning strikes.
I like that line.
It's so...
Also, I'm realizing here, I tend to correct the spelling when I put it into Discord, but I need to fix the document, or someone has to fix it for me, because it's not picking up my mistakes. It doesn't like me. It's mean
It's because
to me.
Some of the spelling mistakes, they are correct spellings, but not in the context, but it doesn't pick them
it's
up.
like it was supposed to be Warren got in, not gets in.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
we have two
Google
more.
Docs.
We've got two more, and one of them is the video, which, I mean, if people want us to play it again, we can do that. But right now, I have 1k words of pure pain.
Oh, yay!
In a court of souls and strife. And if anyone here, my dog has walked in sneezing.
Bless you.
Bless you, puppy. The video, I know the video. But if anyone is interested about why it's called a court of souls and strife, one, Celine, aka Allura, is a type of fey creature called a puka, fey living courts. Two, it is 100% a reference to Sarah J. Maas's Of Court of Thorns and Roses. I've never read that book, but Throne of Glass, her other book series, is my favourite. So that's my context of why I called it that. Something smells really good in my house right now, and I want to eat it, but it's my dad and his girlfriend's like food, and I'm like,
oh my god,
it's like breaded chicken, and I don't think they have breaded chicken, but it smells really good. Okay. And now I get to read 1k words of pure pain. Hooray!
Hee.
Katie, Mars, and Rose roam around their houses, unaware of the danger soon to come, when suddenly they each feel something strange. A forceful tug pulls them towards the harbour, incessant whispers in their ears and pressure in their heads, telling of great pain should they resist the order. Despite this, Mars tries, more than beyond done with Celine at this point. Eventually, though, he follows the call, running into Rose. Things are tense as they make their way towards the auction house, but they can agree on one thing. They should not get on Celine's bad side. Once they reach the auction house, they find Katie already waiting there. They greet each other, the pressure leaving their heads now they have arrived at their destination, but it's not long before Celine arrives as well. Grabbing their attention, she leads the three soulless through the Nether, telling them how it is finally time she enacted the final stage of her plan. They soon find themselves at a portal, red bricks like dried blood surrounding the swirling vortex, which Selene forcefully ushers them through. Exiting the portal, they find themselves before a mountain, the ground marred and burned with corrupting magic, sapping the life from everything around it. Standing tall atop the mountain, nestled amongst the mutated poppies, is a tower reaching towards the moon. In fact, it is surrounded by its phases, many of them incomplete. Their gawking is stopped as Selene hurries them up the stairs, leading them towards the inside of the tower. Once within its walls, the air stifling with electric with magic, Selene finally reveals her plan. Thanks to Mars, Katie, and Rose selling away their souls to her, Selene is now powerful enough to take the souls of every person within the valley, allowing them to ascend to godhood and control the minds of all. Selene expects them, as her first few minions, to aid in the preparations for the spell. She tells them to stay within the tower and wait for her instructions, promising great consequences should they disobey her, before disappearing to meet with Panky, another soulless minion of hers, her longest one, in fact. Now alone within the tower, Katie's anger takes hold, adamantly wanting to tell someone Selene's plan and put a stop to her evil. Together, Mars and Rose are able to calm Katie down, remembering their conversation from their walk earlier. Attempting to distract from the tension, Rose suggests they all look around the tower, which Katie agrees to. However, as she begins to ascend the stairs, Mars decides to leave. Still angry at him, but even more so at the situation and Selene, he doesn't think much of Mars leaving, allowing her and Rose to catch up and lament their current situation. Mars, meanwhile, rushes back through the Nether, returning to the harbour and attempting to find Jay, to no avail. Being within the library, he takes a few empty books and begins to write, one about Selene's plan and the other a goodbye letter to his father, knowing that no matter what happens, he will most likely not survive. If Selene prevails, he'll be her servant forever, or till his body dissolves into a monster. And if he gets his soul back, his illness will instantly kill him. There's no way out of it for him, Mars realizes, so he might as well be the one to disobey Selene. Anything to stop her. Anything to protect Katie. Letters complete, Mars runs through the harbour, finding no one. Crying at this point, he rushes past the docks, finally finding someone, Fizuk. He frantically attempts to tell him what's happening, what Selene is planning, but he can't get the words past his panic. Handing Mars a cup of tea, Fizuk is patient and understanding to the younger, comforting him and calming him down. Once able to speak again, Mars gives Fizuk his books, telling him to give the one about Selene's plans to Jay and the other to Artemis. Fizuk agrees and tells Mars everything will be okay, that he will be okay, and that they will get him his soul back. Mars doesn't believe him, though, aware that Fizuk has no idea what will happen should his soul be returned, but thanks him anyway before heading home. Arriving at his house, Mars is quick to notice something amiss. Blood vines cover the build, twisting and converging into a monstrous display of constricting vines and piercing spikes. Entering his home, Mars finds his cat, Poppy, screeching at the study. Turning towards it, Mars is stunned by the overwhelming amount of blood vines. They cover each wall, surface, and items. He wouldn't be surprised if there were more vines and pages in his books. His shock can't last long, however, as a presence behind him draws his attention. Selene. Knowing of his disobedience, she chides him for being so stupid. But Mars isn't having any of it. Knowing he cannot be killed whilst without his soul, Mars stands up to Selene, challenging what she can do to punish him when death is not an option. Selene, however, finds this amusing, whilst his defense also enrages her. Grabbing his shoulder, Selene calls Mars a little fawn before shoving him back into the study. The vines do not hesitate, feeling his warmth and rushing for their next meal, constricting around his arm as Mars cries. The pain is overwhelming, his screams die in his throat, and as he's left struggling on the ground, Just as the vines are about to seize his other limbs, Selene uses her axe to yank Mars out of their grasp, letting him fall to the ground before her feet. His arm now fresh white bone, the flesh having been mauled by the vines that still sliver behind him, just out of reach. Satisfied with her work, Selene leaves Mars on the floor, a perfect example of what will happen to those who oppose her.
When Mars, okay, this is about the law, because I did the voice lines for Celine, but I
Yes, you are
kid
the
you not,
actor.
they were my favorite voice lines I've ever done.
You
Like,
wanted to torture. You wanted to be a
and
torturer.
I hate saying that because, like, I hate the voice lines because I'm like, what happens? But I'm so proud of myself for
It's so
like
good.
how,
I will also say, I think Kaloy was in chat earlier. They did the animatic that Mars had for the end part of that
yes,
stream, the whole bit about Celine finding Mars in his home and him losing his arm. That was all an animatic made by Kaloy, commissioned by Marsarcy. It's very
yay,
wonderful. I believe it's on his Twitter. I do highly recommend
it
checking it
is.
out. I'm not sure if we posted it in the Discord before, but we definitely can if it hasn't been.
I don't think it
Um,
has actually.
we should shove that in videos somewhere
We
then. We
should.
should, because the animatics are chef's kiss,
Oh,
chef's
yeah,
kiss.
because I know none of us had it. Like, because Skylar mentioned doing it. I was like, yeah, I don't have it though.
Oh, I was
Like, I
gonna
can't.
say go to Mars's Twitter and grab the tweet he posted it in, because I know he posted it for everyone to see in a tweet.
Yeah, I just don't know if the quality would be just as good. That's all.
It's alright if the quality's not perfect. I think people will just be appreciative to have it. But
Yeah,
with that we have one more
we
stream.
can. Yeah, we can have a.
Um,
Do we
I
want to read
think
it or?
I think you read the
Mhm.
beginning bit because I cut off before
Oh
the
yeah, the cinema.
video
Yeah, that's
plays,
good.
and then we'll play the finale cinematic for you all once we
Okay.
go through that.
This is the real one, guys. You thought.
Last of the real
Woohoo.
ones. Do-do-do-do-do.
This is the real one. Okay, phases of the moon.
The final
Calming
of Arc
down.
2. Ba-ba-da-ba.
Calming down after the events at Charlie's old residence, Artemis is interrupted as Isaac flies onto her island, carrying 2 letters written by Mars. Quickly reading through the notes, Artemis takes Isaac to Jay and Charlie, who are by the Phoenix's new home. Catching them up to speed on situation, Celine's attempt to steal the souls of everyone in the valley with a spell. They rush through the nether towards where Jay senses the spell from. She can just smell it, guys.
I do have a good nose. I go.
She's
I go
like, it's like a bloodhound.
but for magic,
hmm
exactly.
That's why we're besties, guys. That's the only reason. It's the magic.
She said you
Stealing.
smelled like death.
Yeah, that's true as well. She also says that.
Oh, continue.
What is it meant to say? Is it meant to say stealing? I don't think it is, but is it?
Sealing their nerves. It's not spelt
Stealing.
correctly.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be like
stealing.
steal.
Yeah, stealing their nerves and preparing themselves for the dangers to come. They all head through the portal to face Celine once and for all. Meanwhile, within the sources of the spell, Rose and Katie sit around the entrance of the tower. They talk about how everyone is about to lose their souls, how they feel responsible for giving Celine the ability to do this in the first place. However, Rose insists it's not their fault alone. Katie feels helpless as they are so close to Celine, yet unable to do anything to stop her. Bringing up the thought of where Mars has been make them wonder if she went and told someone about Celine's plan. As their concern starts to build, Mars enters the tower, which immediately sets Katie off. She begins to yell at Mars for enough, only to shut up once she sees his arm, or lack thereof, prompting Rose to ask if he's alright. Asking what happened, Katie's annoyed about how uncaring Mars sounds when he says, "Take a guess," as if losing his arm means nothing. Katie wants Mars to talk to her. They're all going through the same thing, and they should be there for each other, but Mars insists it doesn't matter. Eventually, they all calm down, both Katie and Rose assuming Celine took Mars's arm, knowing that he must have told someone of her plan. Rose feels immense sympathy for Mars, whilst Katie is enraged more than ever at Celine, asking Mars if losing his arm was painful, to which his response was which he responded that yes, it was incredibly painful to have his flesh ripped off. Mars tells them that Artemis and Jay are going to stop Celine, that they wouldn't let her take everyone's souls, but can't quite answer how they will to stand up to a soon-to-be god. Their hope dwindles by the second, as the reality of their situation sets in. Mars's arm, a stark reminder of what could happen should they even try to stop Celine. It is then that they hear Celine's voice, calling them upstairs to witness the spell. As they make their way up the stairs, ready to witness the end, Rose spots a blood vine and attempts to get closer to it. Mars snaps at her, the loudest he's been since coming back, warning Rose not to touch the vines before they finally make their way to Celine's side.
Yes, we finished that. Sorry, I was answering something. I will pull up the video for you all and we will go quiet for a minute.
Yeah, and then I can talk about some Huh? Then we can talk about stuff after.
We can talk about stuff. We can, believe it or not. We can do a Q&A finally. Okay, as soon as I put this in, it should start playing. So are you ready, gamers?
Nodders.
Let's go!
Are those moon phases? Some of them are missing.
Judging by the magic concentrated here, this spell will be finished once the full moon appears.
It's already halfway there.
Then we don't have much time. We need to get up to that tower.
Celine?
What is it? Oh, we have guests, I see. Excited to witness the start of my empire?
No, we came to put a stop to this madness.
We won't allow you to hurt people anymore.
Always an annoyance, Artemis. Are you scared? Someone with a soul as disgusting as yours should be.
What's that supposed to mean?
Once you pests stop interrupting my spell, the souls of everyone in the valley will be mine. I doubt she'll survive a soul like that. Good riddance, I'd say.
You seem pretty confident. Stolen soul, stolen face, stolen power. Can you really achieve nothing by your own merit? I'm surprised I didn't realize you're a puka sooner.
How dare you? You insolent, spoiled bear. No matter, you'll regret those words soon enough.
Can we do something? We need to stay alive. It's all we can do.
Enough of this!
Faisok, wait!
You troublesome man, and to think you just have my favour. No matter, treacherous worlds have no place in my perfect empire.
Are you okay, Faisok?
I didn't do that.
No. I don't take kindly to people damaging my things, Elora.
Warren, how? You're not supposed to.
Did you really think I wouldn't be keeping an eye on you? Believing I allow someone so traitorous to do as they please is just idiotic. And to think you used to be so useful.
Enough! I don't have to listen to you run your stupid mouth. Once this spell is complete, I will finally get what I deserve. With these souls, I will ascend to godhood. Does that scare you, Warren? The fact I am about to surpass you.
Surpass me! Oh, Elora, you seem to forget. I am already a god.
No!
Soul? My soul is back?
Mars! I've got him.
You've ruined everything.
How loyal.
Pinky.
When I sealed this failure away, that was meant to be the end of it. I never thought you'd find a way to break the barrier, but I suppose I should be thankful. I realize now that to achieve my perfect world, I will have to start over.
No, you can't. You
have always underestimated me, Elora. That was your first and last mistake. This world will be cleansed, starting with the valley.
Wait! If you plan to destroy the valley, then at least tell us why. Us few who are so lucky as to witness your power firsthand. Would you not grant us this one mercy?
What are you doing?
How might we pay our respects to such a mighty god when we don't even know which one you are?
I suppose I can grant that. It is an honor to meet your end at my hand. I'd rather you not mistake me for a lesser god. I am Warren, the second and superior incarnation of the god of creation. I am the beginning, and so, the end. Once I cleanse this world of its imperfections, I will rebuild it to be a perfect empire. You might even be lucky enough to witness it in your next lives.
If they're lucky, they won't have to.
I have to say I'm surprised. I didn't think anyone would summon you again, dear.
Don't you dare me, Warren. You knew exactly what you were doing, banishing me to the demon plane.
You always were my favorite. However, if you're planning on trying to stop me, I suggest you think again.
I might not be a match for you myself, but every sin in the demon plane?
Ha! That's your ultimatum? A demonic army? Have fun bringing them here with every access point closed.
What?
The barrier? You put the barrier back up.
I can tell you're not as calm as you're making out. What are you so frightened of?
I've had enough of this.
get out of here now.
Welcome to the sanctuary.
Are those protection seals?
Exactly. So long as you remain here, that madman won't be able to touch any of you. Hopefully, it will give us enough time to figure out how to stop him.
Stop him. He's a god. How are we supposed to stop a god?
Gods can't be killed. But they can be replaced.
That detested true god is afraid of something. We just need to figure out what.
It's a better plan than nothing.
We need to get everyone else here first, though. Strength in numbers and all. Not to mention how dangerous the valley will be now. I'll get Toshi to spread the word.
Wait a moment. Where's Isaac?
What is this?
I couldn't let them take you, of course. I still have use for you, my dear warlock. As for you, Allura, don't assume leaving you alive is a mercy. There are far worse punishments I can give you than death.
You hypocritical vermin.
Hush now. We have much work to do, and I will not accept any form of failure. This is the beginning of the end.
There we go.
My goodness, we're back.
We hope you all enjoyed that video.
Hee. No, Mars, don't say you understand bagel. Not allowed.
I can't believe this. I can't believe this. We'll put the Spotify back on for you all.
I'm going to start discerning my kids.
That was the whole, catch up of the lore, which means we can now move on to the Q&A section. Oh my goodness.
Woo.
So we, obviously, a lot of new people have become interested in the SMP. We reached 1K on Twitter, which is so amazing, and we're actually getting pretty close to 1,100 followers on the Mythrill Twitter account. So, you know, anyone who isn't followed should definitely go do it. Oh, look at us. One brain cell.
The brain cell.
Fun. So the first time around, I'm glad I finally got to see it. Well, remember, guys, you can always watch stuff on the Mythrill SMP YouTube. The cinematic is up there, as well as like just a bunch of videos. I'll grab the direct link for you all, but it is in the card.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a link to the Mythrill YouTube channel, and we will be posting the Arc 2 recap there as soon as I get it done. You can watch all the other Mythrill Monthly episodes there. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and this episode will be going up on there soon, probably tomorrow.
I have the best announcement.
Oh, you do?
The Mythrill YouTube channel has 69 subscribers.
No one's allowed to follow it now. But it also has Mythrill content, a bunch of playlists by other creators on the server that you can watch, such as Sky's music. Elle has an edited series of all of their lore, starting from Arc 1. They are doing such a great job. You're doing such a great job. I have all of my VODs. There are currently 66 of them up. Marsarcy also has his VOD playlist. Beanie has some VODs, as well as Jelly. And then you can find all the members' YouTube channels as well over there for any of them who have them.
Hey.
So, yeah, we highly recommend it. We do love it over there. But,
so,
yeah.
Maple asks, are the... Because this hybrid,
their food is here. Their food is here. We have to wait.
Oh, hold on, guys.
We'll let Maple get back before we answer that question. It's all right. It's all right.
was
yeah,
gonna
if anyone
shorten it
has
down.
any questions about the server, we are more than happy to answer them. And yeah, we'll just be chilling and vibing for at least another hour. To make sure anybody wants to put anything down, put anything out there, has anything they're dying to know. What the hecky wecky is going on with character J's arms?
That's a good question.
That's actually a really fun question. So, for people who don't know, character J, they're a fae, they're really old. 2, they have a demonic patron called Karma. She was very relevant in Arc 1. People didn't know that Jay was a warlock until Arc 2, though, because they both kept it a major secret, their involvement with each other. But essentially, there is, I believe it is in the Magical Ailments book, something called a tainted, and it's basically when someone is exposed to too much demonic energy, they tend to take on like a physical manifestation of that power. Jay having a demonic patron and already being magical herself, her ears being longer and the kind of dark gradient coming off her hands and also legs is a sort of circumstance of that demonic magic that she is mastering through her patronage.
Oh, this I can't speak about. God damn it! This, I think you know what I want to say.
I do,
but I
and
can't
you're
say
forbidden.
It.
You're forbidden.
I could speak about something else though,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't say much about it. But my favorite thing is because you know what it means. It's a nod to, but it's the Celine line about Artemis's soul.
Ah, yes. I mean, it's been mentioned
so...
many a time since Artemis's first death that her soul is a little broken, a little bit needs to be pieced back together.
Yeah, as Celine says it, a broken soul. It's what I find funny. As soon as Selena said, "Yeah, you like that broken soul," Artemis has gone with it. Like that's how she calls it as well.
And it's so sad because Jay keeps saying it's not broken, it's just bent out of shape, and then they're like, "Oh." They're like, oh, Christ. But also another reason for Mars's question why character J is like that is because of a Pinterest picture.
No, I know which Pinterest picture because I think I found the exact same picture and went,
Probably. I have multiple of them. I'm just searching through my pinboard for her right now. Here,
let me send you the one I found particular for you know what.
This is kind of, it's, as you can see on the screen, sort of the dark sliding up there. There's also these ones which are just really fun. I just like the gradients. I just thought it was a really fun character design idea.
The best thing is I had the same picture, but you know, because of Artemis's scar.
Yeah.
That's why I darkened it to start with.
One idea, one kidnapping VTuber tutorial? The fuck are you on about, mate?
Hit your knees. Okay, Maple's back. Maple's question was they read that hybrids exist, but there was a list of animal hybrids. Are they the only possible hybrids, or can you be other types of hybrid?
So we have sort of a weird classification about it. So we have hybrid the race and hybrid the classification. So for example, Lilith's character is an Enderman and demon hybrid because they are two parts of those biology. But then you have hybrid, which as in a race, which is basically humans who are exposed to too much magic and developed animal features. You can have hybrids of like other things. So you can have like technically an elf hybrid because that's just a half elf, or cambions, which are half demons. So that's like a hybrid of like Jelly is a hybrid between a fury, which is a type of demon, and a human. But for like hybrids as in the race, they are always sort of animal adjacent, but that talking about the race, is there a limit to what animals they can be hybrids of? I was just getting to that. So the typical mundane thing is that they will be a hybrid of some sort of land-based animal. I don't know if bird hybrids exist, because avians are a different thing. If bird hybrids that exist, they would probably just have feathery ears or feathers on their body and no actual wings. But technically, a hybrid could also be like half human, or not half human, but a hybrid could be. They can be dogs. They can be dogs. They can be dogs. They can be cats. Like domestic ones, they can just be wolves. They can be like a tiger. I wonder why you asked that.
I wonder.
Your character can exist as they are with like their race and stuff. That is perfectly fine. Bean is the only hybrid on the server right now, I believe. They are a deer hybrid. They have antlers. And ears. But I was also going to say that it would be incredibly rare, and I don't know how the logistics of it would work, but a character could be a hybrid of like a more mythical creature. Like, thank you.
Roske,
Sorry, that was my mythical creature. I have a Beowulf sitting in my room.
Oh, it's okay. I have 2 void demons. Don't worry about it.
Oh, so fair, so fair. But I guess technically it could you could have a hybrid that has had a bit too much magical creature genetics, and therefore be like a mythical creature. So not a phoenix, because those are like an actual race. I think within the world of Mythrill, I'd probably say that phoenixes, like Charlie, who looks very human but then has phoenix wings, could probably turn into a bird. So you don't actually have like a separate like phoenix bird animal and phoenix person. No, they're the same thing.
I like that.
But then you get some creatures which are just complete mythical animals, like Pegasus or unicorns. I don't know how a horse hybrid would work, so we're not going to think about those. But theoretically, a hybrid could be something mythical.
If you apply with a horse hybrid, I'm going to fight you.
If you apply and your character is BoJack Horseman, I'm banning you instantly.
I'm going to cry.
Yeah, but you know, we also like people coming up with original race ideas, because the races that we have listed in the Mythrill public Discord, they are just the ones that we have lore written about. BRB applying as a centaur. Oh god. Oh god.
About to block Izzy Foxer.
I don't even know how we would do that on the server. Actually, I do know how I would do that on the server, and it would look ugly as hell. It would look ugly as hell.
Yeah. Also, if it's not too nosy, how the apps number looking? I mean, I'm okay with saying how many we got. Are you okay with saying how many we got?
Yeah, let me check right now. We are
189.
Almost 200.
I had it open. I've had it open.
For reference, and for Arc 2, we had about 250 applications. By the end of it, we're on day 3.
Yeah.
So things are going well. We haven't been through all of them, but they're slowly trickling in. They're slowly coming through. How many are we planning to accept? I'm thinking...
At least 2.
At least 2. I'm thinking around 10. Obviously, depending on the applicants, we might get some amazing people who make us up the number, or maybe we'll be extra picky and it will be a little bit below. But can I ask when applicants are closing? They are closing on the 27th.
Oh my god, they're closing the day that Sky is uploading the
OST
to YouTube, guys.
The day that Sky uploads the Arc 2 OST to YouTube is the same day that applications will be closing, so the 27th.
That's crazy.
Let me do a quick check, because I do believe I am streaming on the 27th.
I believe you are.
I do believe that I
you're doing Mythrill.
I am doing Mythrill, so
crazy.
After that stream is probably going to be when it ends.
Guys, just in case you didn't know, here's a link to apply if you want to apply.
Oh yes. If you haven't already, or if you know anyone who you think would be interested in a lore-heavy SMP, go ahead. But like I was saying, all of the lore that we have written in the public Discord is all... This is stuff that we have had written for world-building sake within the library. If you want to play a character, specifically if you want to play a character that no one else is playing, like a vampire or a werewolf, you will be able to change certain things about the race, and you will also be able to add things to it, because if you are the only person playing that character. If you play a character who is being played already, like we have a couple of half-demons and demons, and we have a couple of elves, then those are more set in stone because people already exist with those established characters, and that means they are less flexible, but they also can depending on the sub-races and such. For example, character Lilith, I don't know if they've revealed what part demon they are, so I will not say, but the demon that they selected was originally not on our list.
Yeah.
And we added it to the list because they selected it, and I was like, yeah,
Just for
that's
Lilith.
fine. Just for Lilith.
Bagel.
Just for them. Just for them.
Hashtag I love bagel, guys.
Hashtag
Did you
I
know
love
that?
bagel. Hashtag I love Scottish Beanie, who has just showed up in the chat. Hello,
Yeah.
bestie.
Do you guys like when characters have pre-planned lore, or do you like when someone's characters are with blank slate?
We like flexibility, I think, is the best way to put it.
Yeah, we like having. So, say you had a character. We don't want like your whole like the whole story planned out before you're on the server, basically, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'd say like a backstory. So like,
I think the way that I put it
personality.
is
Have a personality.
Yeah, I think having a half-baked idea is always better than having no idea at all. So we tend to like applications more when they have at least a little thing about a character, whether that is just their profession, personality, or blah 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 blah. You apply but immediately feel like adding more stuff. I mean, unfortunately, that's just how it works sometimes, but it's always a good thing to look at your application and think for a while before posting it. I feel like some people rush, but you gotta remember you have a week to do things, so it's just one of those things.
Is it bad if you don't know what race to play? Not really, to be honest. No. Like, if you don't, you can just give like this is an idea I have, but I don't have a
like the race of your character or like where they are in the world does not matter really to the overall story unless you're going to have it be a relevant part of your character. So, for example, Elle's character is half elf, half shulker. There was a war between those two races. It's relevant to her story. Katie's character is a sea elf. The sea elves have been missing for thousands of years. That's relevant to her story. Mars being a human, completely irrelevant other than his like lack of magical knowledge. It just gives context to some certain things about the characters. You don't need to know what race you are. You don't need to know everything about your character, but if you have something of a character, we tend to like it more. We also really like flexibility. So if you have a character who you have developed and you have thought about and you think, oh, this is what their story is going to be, but that doesn't fit into Mythrill and you refuse to change it, then you're not going to be very appealing. Whereas if you have like an idea for your character and a backstory and you are willing to compromise on some things to keep the essence of it but make it fit within the world, then that is really great. That's very helpful. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure your story is as best as it can be within the world and that it doesn't compromise anyone else's story.
Also, don't be like me on my application when I applied, because I applied an ARC one. My whole selling point...
I know the end is banned, but hear me out.
That was my whole selling point to you, and somehow I got you.
Well, at that time, we had nothing planned for the end at all.
Oh,
other than it was not going to be accessible ever.
And I went, I don't need it accessible. I just need to be allowed to be from there.
Exactly.
And I wrote so much.
Izzy wants to cause problems on purpose. I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
I am the problem, Izzy.
I'm just your problem.
I am your problem,
just your problem.
I am going to say this right now,
just said I have antlers. You said inventor and antlers, and I said yes.
And
I said, I love it.
I'm going to preface this right now before we get more, because I don't think we've said it anywhere. If you want to be an end creature, you can't be from the end. You would have to be a half enderman, most likely from the overworld, if you plan to apply for an end creature.
We also have specified that in both the race section of the public Discord and now the world section at the very bottom.
Yes.
It's literally just for world building, with the barrier being closed and the portals having been locked for so long. The fact that already 3 people have passed through, it would make no sense for anyone else to pass through. In fact, only one of those 3 people has like a loophole for how they got past the end portal. That's Lilith being a Cambion, because Cambions can travel to the demon plane. And the demon plane has access to the overworld through the Nether. So,
I mean, technically, because one of them got wrote out, 2 people made it through. The third person was Artemis, who was forced through.
You got forced through, and Apollo, your twin sibling, who has now perished, snuck his way through. And then Lilith used demonic magic to get past it, which is a loophole. A loophole the end can't account for. Join the public Discord, wouldn't it? Possibly.
It really would be.
It is. I mean, you can access a lot of the information from the card. We have a link to our library drive where you can read any and all of the library books within. And a lot of the information is within there, just not a lot of the specifics. Like, for example, none of the world building, like map and stuff, is in there, aside from like if it's relevant to a race. Like the human book. There's a book about humans, and it talks about the different civilizations because, in order to account for the fact that we had some people on the server who were human and knew about technology, and some who had no idea, we made a split between the regions because there wasn't really a lot of travel for quite a while.
My favorite thing is the fact of Cloudy mentioned Google to us in canon, and we both had to
play that out.
We had to play like we didn't know what that was, and it's the funniest thing to think about. It's just, ugh.
It's all rather silly. I will say though that the world building thing, aside from the stuff about the end and not being from there, a lot of it you can take with a grain of salt. It's everything that has been written and canonized on this server, but you're trapped within Mythrill Valley. The story takes place within Mythrill Valley. You never get to see the rest of the world outside, so it can be whatever. You don't have to specify where you're from, you don't have to specify where you've been, you don't have to know about the places really within lore at all. But if you want to add some extra layers to your character and you want to go deeper into that, then you can always look into them. And it's not a bad if you haven't read the Discord or any of the lore stuff, because we know there's a lot. We know it's difficult. We know it's annoying. You can jump into the application without reading anything other than the preface part of the application, which explains the main story of the server.
Yeah, it's like the basic stuff you basically.
Because here's the thing. If you write something that is good enough as just a character idea and basis, and we like it, and you get added, we will help you make the thing fit into the world. We will ask you the questions that you do not yet have answered, and we will work with you to build what you do not yet have structured. You don't need a full idea. If you're not super interested in lore, you don't even need to do a lot of it. A lot of it is just, we do prioritize lore. This is a lore server. We like when people do lore, and we like when people add to the story. But at the same time, we do have people who don't really do lore a lot, like Bean. A lot of Bean's lore has been planned by me to give them some presence in the story, and I do think Bean will have 1 or 2 lore streams in Arc 3, because they need to share the information they gain from that quest to somebody. But aside from that, they just chill. And you can just chill if lore isn't your biggest cup of tea, but it's like, if you want to be involved in the server events, if you want to do stuff with other characters in a tangible way, then you're going to need to have a backstory. You're going to need to have your own character. So, yeah, you don't have to like go full 9 yards like some of our members who do like 1 million lore streams. I'm looking at you, Elle.
I was like, I feel targeted right now.
You should.
I could feel it.
You should feel targeted. Always. Like, by me. I have a gun.
You started talking, I was like, I feel like this is very pointed at me. For some reason. I wonder why.
You just like me, I think. I had no idea. I actually... I think there was something about Bean's application.
For some reason you added me as well. So
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like...
I didn't even know Bean when they gave their application in. I think you'd been in my chat a bit, but I didn't perceive that, like... I
mean,
you know when you see someone in chat, you don't quite perceive them as a person yet?
Yeah.
It was about there.
I mean, it was also, like, Arc 1, it wasn't just more lore things.
You want to know what's the selling point of your boy?
I remember it from
He talked about D&D and being a tavern owner. He did like a real detailed thing about his ideas. Like he did at least like a paragraph or 2 about I really like D&D.
I can hold it.
You could pull it up. We probably still have Bryce's. You don't have to write multiple paragraphs, but if you will have at least one, it's quite nice. Now you're stuck with me. I wouldn't have it any other way, Beanie. I wouldn't have it any other way. Scotland canonically exists in Mythrill SMP. It actually does, but it's called Willowwood. It
I mean,
actually does exist, and it's called Willowwood.
I mean, Scotland exists, England exists.
Wales exists.
Yeah, there's a lot of places.
England is just the end.
Mm-hmm,
We banished the Brits, we banished ourselves.
I really did that.
Without revealing too much, sorry, I'm nosy. What are your basic thoughts on the apps? Are you excited to see what people have wrote? Of course, we're always excited to see the things that people have written.
Butt in quickly. Bryce wrote 2 sentences.
He wrote 2 sentences, and that was enough for us.
Yeah, so what he'd do on the server
to me.
Well, I'm counting what he'd do on the server and the lore, like the lore idea, because of what he said he'd do on the server is build like a guild/tavern for people who accept quests and jobs. And his lore idea was, I'd be a human celestial warlock, looking to regain my magical powers after being stripped of them from an entity that is not my patron. And look how that's evolved.
Look how that's evolved from him being a celestial warlock who was stripped of his powers to him not even knowing he was a warlock and then finding out who his patron was at the end. Have you already looked through some, or are you waiting? We've looked through a bit over half of them. See, here's the thing. During Arc 2, like I said before, Arc 2, we had 250 applications. We didn't look through them until the day they closed, and we spent 8 hours going through all, 250. For this application form, since we got 100 within the first 6 hours of posting, we decided to go through them as we got them. So we've been through around 100 of them, and we're almost at 200. So we definitely still have a lot more to go through, but we're going through them as they come in, more so now. We get a bulk in, we go through them, we have a look. We cannot share our specific opinions on any individual person, because that would be unfair.
Me and Joe, we spent a lot of time together recently because of this.
We have, which has been so wild. We've been busy beans. We have.
So we share both our own opinions on the apps. A little bit.
On
people, just in general.
Yeah, well, I was going to go back to Maple's questions, like, you excited to see what people wrote?
No, that's what I'm saying, that question.
Yeah, I'm always excited to see what people have written. Like I said before, having a half-baked idea is always better than no idea. What are your opinions on my app / Jay?
Well, is it? I hate to break it to you.
I ate it, I'm so sorry.
It was too tasty.
It was too tasty, I ate it, sorry.
My opinion on the app, so I'm excited. I am excited. I like reading for. I think out the two of, I don't know if I'm a bit more harsh, I'll be real.
I think it really depends on the situation. I think you're harsher on, like, how do I explain?
I'm harsher, like, I don't know. It's like, I will say, like, okay, I'm like, if I think it's a good application, I will say so. If I don't, I'm like, I'm not a fan. I will say how I think it is really bluntly, and I'll be like, or like, if I think it's like in the middle, I'm like, I don't know if it's not bad, but it's not like outstanding. I'm like, well, they have a good idea. It's just not there at the moment.
Yeah, I think for me, I am a storyteller. I am very good at taking a bare basic concept, and expanding it into something more. Especially when I have something to put it into, and since Mythrill is already so well established. Oh, thank you. Sorry, I was delivered an ice cream sandwich.
Oh my god, where's mine? Ask him, where's mine, please.
I can't open the packaging, and I didn't want you guys to hear it, but it won't open.
I'm sad now. I can't have one.
You can't have one because we're hours away.
Sad. Yeah, Wait,
I'm gonna grab some scissors.
That's all good, I'll talk to them. But yeah, it's like, it's really fun trying to like come up, like think of like how ideas can expand. What's your favourite history you've written so far for a race? Well, I think you can guess what mine is. For a race, because I've wrote, I've wrote the Eldar and stuff a lot, and Jay's also done that, and I've also wrote a lot of the end stuff, like Shulk stuff. I have wrote not too much about Enderman. Bagels helped me with that as well. I wrote Endermites as a race. That's my proudest moment, I'll be real. The Endermite race. Oh, because I love their eyes. They have galaxy-like eyes. So they'll have like purples and blues.
They are bugs.
They are. It's like, do you know, like fly eyes, but they're cute. That's why I did it, because I'm like, fly eyes terrify me. Make them cute. Problem solved.
I was gonna DM you a question, and I realized actually that would make our lives more difficult.
Wait, what? I want to know now. Please DM it. What's your favorite race you've written history for so far?
That's a good question. As I eat my ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, you could think about it.
I think vampires.
Oh, yeah.
So fun fact for people, I like to read fanfics. And I had a period of my life for about a month where I read exclusively vampire fanfictions. Not Twilight, they were original works, so they weren't really fanfics in the first place. But there was a lot of just niche stuff of vampire lore that people would write about or explore from different sources, and it really intrigued me from like a storytelling perspective of how different you can make like such a solidified entity in both like horror and fantasy and supernatural storytelling. So if you look at the race sheet, you see that vampires have like 3 paragraphs written just for themselves, and that's partly because anything that has a really long thing written is because 1, they've been developed the most, and 2, they probably have a library book about them.
Yeah.
And vampires is in the magical ailments library book, same with werewolves or lycanthropes. But I really like it because a group of vampires are called a cult, and they actually have a lot of family dynamics if they are, you know, a healthy goings on in the cult. And it's actually really cute. Like, they might be bloodsuckers, but they're a found family sort of dynamic in how I've written them.
So,
but obviously you also get some pretty nasty vampires because they are bloodsuckers and a bit deranged. So it's a 50-50, but I like what I wrote for them. Sorry.
I have it says fun and fact for you all. So for a thing for Artemis, that it has been going on, like it's been happening since like halfway between Arc 2, I believe. Jade gave me a fanfic to read.
I did.
I can't tell you what or
I will
why.
tell you it was a Dream SMP fanfic.
Yeah, it was a Dream SMP fanfic.
That's what I read actually.
It was for what I've been doing and setting up in this long thing. I need to talk to you about it, by the way. I need help with some stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just mainly something I will mention later. But like it's really funny because I know what I'm doing. And I read this fanfic and it is so funny to think that this fanfic has helped me through my arc. And little tidbits of what's going on can be explained through this fanfic.
And the reason it was a fanfic is because I have not seen the concept explored anywhere else.
It's an interesting concept, I will say.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it explored somewhere else, but not in the aspect they do it in the fanfic, because obviously it's a fanfic and they're not focusing on the bigger picture of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's wild. I wonder what could be going on.
In other news, my ice cream sandwich was delicious. It was it was a rip-off Oreo ice cream sandwich, but it's Cornetto.
Ooh.
So they're like the actual
Cornetto.
ice cream brand. So like if that's better or not, I have no idea.
No, Cornetto's like legend. Also, Maple asks, are you excited for Arc 3? Yes.
Hell yeah. You've got to okay. You're gonna know this SMP is over a year old. We had a 1-year anniversary in Pride Month.
Yeah.
I have been heading this thing since like February of last year, because Arc 1 started in Pride Month last year. We had Arc 0 before that, which was before there was any lore or any cool shit happening on the server, which is when I was added, and it was boring as hell. But since Arc 1 started, we'd had the 3-arc story structure planned in at least a rough estimate as the story, you know, develops as we add members and as they engage with the plot and change things. like the stuff with Bryce and Warren wasn't obviously a thing always.
Mainly because I didn't
Same with
know
Honey
Bryce.
and whatever's happening with them. There's a lot of little things that just we didn't know were going to happen and ended up happening. Originally, Katie wasn't meant to lose her soul. That came about a week or two before Mars lost his soul, and we decided it would be really funny if she also lost hers. Mars has always meant to lose his soul since he joined
We
her.
were sat talking about it, and we were like, you can't tell Mars. Mars didn't know. He was unaware.
It was funny. It was funny, but yeah, the survey's been going on for a long time, and the third arc is the final arc, so we're really excited, and I'm gonna be really sad because by the time it ends, I would have probably spent 2 years of my life on this thing.
Like, Sam, this is the thing as well. Like, I'm gonna go real sappy for y'all now. You don't get this. You don't get this often, okay? But like, I'll be real. When I applied for Mythrill, I've told Jay this before, because I have like, as a content creator, you have friends who are in the same space. You go to people that are similar, etc. I was in a spot where I did want to try and be my own person. I wanted to do my own thing. So what did I do? I applied for Mythrill SMP. The way I found out this SMP was because of Jay's TikTok. Do you want to know who showed me Jay's TikTok? Caspian did. He's like, oh, this person's asexual. I think you'd really like their TikToks and that. Because apart from Shovel Jay, you were the only asexual person I knew. And obviously
Wow.
Yeah. None of my friendship groups knew me. Like, they didn't know my sexuality because it's quote weird, obviously. But so I applied for Mythrill. I told nobody because I was in a spot with a few friends that I was very uncomfortable with. One of you which you know what they did, Jay.
Yeah, we don't need to go into that, but
yeah.
No.
So I was trying to be myself, become not a different person, but just like separate. And I was like, I probably won't get into this SMP because the way I was at that point is because my friends invited to SMP because I was friends with them. I never applied that much. So I was like, I want to apply to SMP because I want to get in for myself on my own. And I did. Ironically, I was like, and the first person I told was Cass. I was like, Cass, I got into the SMP.
You did, and it was very touch and go because after applications, we tend to go look at people's like Twitters, not Twitters, like Twitches. And you didn't have audio saving to your VODs, so we could accurately gauge what your vibes were for like a week.
My mic was not having a good time that week.
Sky was stalking your Twitch, trying to catch you while live so we could see if we could hear you, and it was really silly.
No, because Cass modded my streams, like he still does. And obviously, on the mod view, it shows the viewers in chat.
Yeah.
And he saw it. You got seen. I
got seen stalking. That's so cute.
But I was like, oh my god, no. And I, like, to this day, I do not regret applying for this SMP. I love the people I've met.
I'm so glad.
Like, it's been, like, not because of Mythrill, but there's been a lot going on. It's been a year. Like, stuff's gonna happen in a year with people. But
yeah.
I love people. It's been one of my favourite things. And, like, getting to the point of joining the SMP and now being co-owner is really weird.
Someone had to step up to help me. I'm flailing.
I said run my way to boss, guys.
You know, it really makes a lot of sense. My username was originally going to be J of all trades. Considering how much I do, that really makes sense. That really makes sense.
Yeah.
That really makes sense. Also, Izzy, how dare you? How dare you almost apply for Arc 2 and then didn't do it? Shame on you. Shame on you for not doing it when that was happening. How dare?
Are you excited for new people? Yeah, I think we're both excited for new people.
I'm very excited.
I'm anxious though as well because I always am with new people.
This is something I do want to go into because we look for like good vibes. We look for people who we think are going to mesh well. We look for people who are going to contribute positively to the space, not only just the community, but to the server itself and mix well with the people who we currently have in it. And that's not too hard to do. The criteria is basically don't be a dick. But we can be very cutthroat when, you know, sometimes if we do mess up and we do add somebody who isn't the vibe, we will remove them if they are complaints. Because it's all about keeping our members happy, keeping the community happy, keeping everyone safe and sound.
I will take knees.
Elle will take
names.
knees. Elle will grab those knees from you.
Yeah, I take ankles as well at times.
Yeah, we take it very seriously. The whole thing of checking that every person who applies meets certain criteria of a good lad, I guess is the best way to put it. And yeah, I so we're really excited to welcome in new people, but we're also going to make sure that those new people are respectful of everyone's boundaries and are going to be nice and a comforting presence. And if you don't get added, it's not because you're not that. It could just be, you know, we saw better applications, you didn't write enough, yada yada yada. There could be extenuating circumstance. There's a lot of things. We're looking for 10 people around maximum.
And that's the thing, like, you put 180 whatever currently, like, we do, like, it's so gut-wrenching of, like, because like we feel bad as people because like there are good people that we have to, but we can't say yes to all the time.
I think the way that we do it is we have like the short list of amazing, wonderful, and then we have like the list of not quite backups, but these people are still great, but they're just below those. And if somebody on the first list performs badly, we will bring in some new people, because I think something that we haven't really mentioned too often this arc is that there is an interview process.
No, yeah, there are interviews. I am there, by the way, guys.
Yeah, the application is the first hurdle. If we like your application, we are going to be reaching out to people to interview you. It's very easy. It's a very casual discussion. It's, again, gauging people's vibes and making sure they are a good fit for the community and the space. We just want to get to know you is the basic thing of it.
Yeah.
And that is something that will come. Also, Maple being all sappy. You're so precious. So precious.
Don't worry, I'll find out your secrets on Twitter. Trust me, the last arc members found out.
Also,
like,
Izzy, it's okay. You got to play a boss that got killed off in their first stream.
I think it's pretty cool, to be honest.
I think it was pretty poggers.
I remember like testing all of that stuff out.
That was so fun. We worked hard on that.
We had so much fun just running around testing.
Yeah.
But
I think another thing to mention about members is we had a few people leave the SMP recently.
Yes.
I'm gonna say it here. We've said it in many places privately. Nothing bad happened. All the people who left of their own volition, and because they just either didn't have time for the server anymore, or it wasn't quite fitting what they wanted to do with their content anymore.
Yeah, which is all valid.
It's all valid. It's all fine. If people want to step out, they can step out, and it's perfectly okay. But just to avoid confusion, I thought we'd bring it up here. Most notably, the lovely Moon Intensity is no longer part of the SMP. They are moving on to other things. They have their own RP series they're doing on YouTube, which we both voice act for, which they are hyper-focusing on in terms of the lore production. So,
which is valid.
We love Moon, and we hope they're doing well.
I'm so proud of Moon, and she's going to do amazing. Keep supporting her as well, even though she's not part of the SMP.
She's just no longer interested in doing lore live. They prefer the edited content of it, and it can be a little bit hard to do that when everyone else on the server is streaming it. The only person who does recorded content is Ava, and they only have one episode out right now, so it definitely is a difficult thing to manage.
And the good thing is, Moon was able to finish the story of her character as well, which was really nice, because it's really heartbreaking when you don't finish the story.
Definitely, but that is something I want to bring up, because obviously Moon's character is seen in the finale animatic. Just at the very, very end, they're walking around some of the crystals to make sense of their character no longer being there with the border being up. The basic thing of what happened is the timeline's been a bit skewed. So the crystals around the harbour first appeared around Bryce's house, or Fizuk's house. Moon is on positive terms with Fizuk, went to go visit, saw the crystals, got on Monnie's ship and got the heck out of there. They barely made it out of the valley before the barrier went up. It was very touch and go. I even like to imagine that a little bit of the backside of the ship got broken off as it went down.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, Moon's character is alive, by the way.
Moon's character is the only character within the valley who has any semblance. They don't know what happened, but they got out. They're the only person who got out and knows the barrier is there now. But they can't really do much to help outside, so what's a human pirate to do?
Real, I'm gonna miss my pirate. Like, in canon, artists are gonna miss her, especially since the last conversation they had.
That's so true, but hey.
Yeah.
I'm sure one day in the post-Mythrill Arc 3 they will meet again. Just,
Don't worry, I've already got that.
There won't be a stream of it. Oh, I know, you've been planning things.
You know I'm already writing stuff.
Yeah, other characters, obviously Panky died at the end of Arc 2, so their character is no longer part of the SMP. The lovely Cloudy Han stepped out near the start of the Arc 2 because they just no longer wish to partake in content creation, which is perfectly fine. They were very big help while they were here. And Monet left with Moon for, you know, whatever they were doing.
Which is valid.
Yeah.
All of them.
And also Surin, their character just went off to go do some writing, but Surin just has too much school commitments to be on the server, unfortunately. But I wanted to clear that up. But, you know, the departure of our wonderful members has allowed for more new members to be added, because we were going to add less before they decided to leave.
Yeah,
so it comes with rose-tinted glasses, I suppose.
I almost started crying talking.
No, because I miss them. I miss them all so much.
Like, I almost started crying over what I was saying about you because of how emotional it gets me. But like, just in general, the server, the people, it gets me. I can't.
I'm good at quality control. What can I say?
Oh my god.
It sounds really cheesy to say, but I haven't been on another server that is as much of the family.
No, you're so real.
SMP.
You're so real.
And I think that's just because of how I am an anxious being, and so I try and make it as accessible as possible for people. Everyone is just so nice, and I love them all.
I know it may occur, I don't seem like an introverted person, guys. However, I am an introverted person a lot.
I had no clue.
Unless I'm talking about Star Wars.
Yes, your cats are named Poluku.
After Star Wars characters.
Yeah.
What can I say? I've got a taste for good things.
You have a taste for flesh.
Yeah, I bite people.
You do bite people, and you've got to stop. You're gonna get arrested.
I kind of threaten the new members going, if you've been misbehaved, I will bite. So like,
I'm gonna say it here, all lore SMP should be like Mythrill atmosphere wise. You shut up. You shut up.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I've been in lore SMPs where I have felt stressed. Yeah, real maple is what we relate to. I've been into lore SMPs where I feel stressed out, etc. And Mythrill is the one place I felt like I feel heard, and I'm like, oh, can I do this? Like, yeah, gosh, it's your thing. I'm like, oh, okay. What about this? And like, there's very little things that I think you've said, like.
Yeah, there are very little restrictions. It's sort of if something else is planned and it directly contradicts, we'll be like, that doesn't quite work. But 9 times out of 10, exactly 9 times out of 10, if someone has an idea that they want to pursue and it doesn't quite fit, we will work to make it fit. We're having that right now with our Arc 2 members going into Arc 3 and being like, how do I continue from this? These are my ideas, and I'm like, this could work, but this could also contradict this, and then we work through it. How you guys are swearing?
We are a PG server, particularly.
As far as I'm aware, no one on the server is currently PG. We did used to have a PG member, but they left quite a while ago. Our sort of stance on it is, so like, it's an individual basis. So we don't care overall as like SMP. You can do whatever the heck you want.
I can't believe it, Lizzie. That is illegal.
You can do whatever the heck you want, but if you are a PG streamer, we do make accommodations, such as having like a PG only VC for people to sit in, and we have a boundaries channel, so you can list in there like, hey, I'm a PG content creator. If you're doing stuff with me, this. I know a couple of our members aren't super good at not swearing. I can have a filter, but sometimes I forget. So it's all about being able to state it. But yeah.
Yes, all right, Maple.
Would you guys like to know some fun fact about me and me owning the SMP real quick?
Yes, give me. So I want to nom nom.
Before joining Mythrill SMP, I had only been a part of one other SMP, one that I never streamed. And when initially I joined Mythrill SMP, I had a different name, so it's whatever. But the SMP I was on beforehand was a lore-based SMP. I never streamed it, and it was just very confusing because they didn't have established lore outside of the like they had like one event which was like, you're all here now and this is an event that's happening for this arc, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. What if I tie myself into that event? But they were very weird about what in like character information they would greenlight and not, and they never had anywhere listing what was okay and what was not. So it was literally, you have to write like an essay for your character, hand it in, and then they will tell you that it's bad, and then you don't know what to do. So I never streamed on that server for obvious reasons.
How about I fight them?
You don't need to fight them, it's fine.
I could buy. I go munch munch.
I never streamed on that server. It just, ended up not being the vibes because of multiple things going on IRL for me, not to do with the server itself. But that was my first ever server. And then from there, I went straight into Mythrill, and then straight into owning Mythrill. And it's literally just been, I didn't know how to run an SMP or what to do things. I was gripping. I was griping at straws. I was going,
You're a villager?
Yeah.
Huh.
I was being like, how would I be comfortable with this being handled? And so we had like, we did the interviews, we did the applications, we even had like a meet and greet for people.
Yeah.
I do all the things that I know would make me more comfortable in a new setting, because I do have anxiety and I want to make sure everyone else is comfortable, and we try and make it so no idea is a bad idea. And if you do genuinely have a bad idea, we will work with you to make it a good one.
Yeah, and then there's me who goes, hear me out, guys. That's how most of my bad ideas that become
hear me out, guys.
Real...
What if my husband was a dragon?
No, wait, hold on. But he's really cool, guys. Mars made art for him, and that's why he's so great.
He is a handsome man.
He is. Mars made him more handsome than he... That's the thing. I was like, this is how I imagine him. I went to Mars. How did I I think I described him like someone and Andrew Garfield.
When all the Mythrill characters go into Disney, we should do a Disney day. We still need to plan the pub quiz, because we want to do a pub quiz where we quiz our members on like the server lore. I have it all written down. It's just picking a freaking day. When there's like people are going back to school soon. It's going to be a bit difficult. We'll probably have to wait till like October for people to be on Halloween break, I'm assuming. But,
oh my god. I've just found the best thing in mine in Mars's DMs.
Oh, I'm so scared. One fun thing that I like to do though is be like, what Mythrill character when if, which is to say, if every Mythrill character was a Disney character, what character would they be? Oh, and thank you, Lukewarm, for the raid. Thank you so much. Welcome to Mythrill Monthly, the Mythrill SMP lore podcast, where we talk about our Minecraft SMP or the lore. And right now we're doing a Q&A because applications are open, and it's very, very cool. We recommend you check out the card where you can find the applications, link to the Discord, all of that fancy stuff, and yeah.
Okay, Aaron, two of the best questions for the Mythrill Guess Who. Either, is your character traumatized, or is it a guy? Because they can either knock everyone down or no one down. But what I found in mine and Mars's DM is says, also, my dad says Loki is hot. And I forgot about that.
Make Mythrill characters just up as their favorite Disney characters when going to Disney. We definitely should. We're genuinely thinking about, though, I need a list of Disney characters. I think we've more or less agreed that Celine is Maleficent from like original Sleeping Beauty, not the live action one, the original one. I don't know about the other ones though.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, I searched Loki
Honestly,
in
though,
mine
wait, you
and
could pitch character J for like Anna or Elsa because she was locked up
oh,
half her life.
okay. Hear me out.
Yeah.
You know Lydia the Bard? That Anna.
Yes. That
That
Anna.
Anna.
That
That
Anna.
Anna.
If anyone hasn't seen
Particular.
Lydia, look up Lydia the Bard on YouTube. They do villain covers of Disney princess songs, and it's amazing.
I think physically, character
Character
is
Flynn
Flynn.
Rider.
I think physically he's Flynn Rider. Oh my god, do you know Atlanta, is it Atlanta? Oh my god.
Yeah.
The
Lost City
nerdy
Islanders,
guy.
yeah.
Yes, him, that's who it reminds me. There's no minimal follow account.
Can I pitch Marsarcy as Jim from Treasure Planet? Because it's my favorite Disney movie, and he hasn't watched it yet, and I'm angry at him.
Yeah. So can I pitch? I honestly I don't know who to pitch for Artemis. I'll be real.
Oh,
I was gonna say, can I
God.
pitch this person, but I don't know. Oh, actually, you know the captain from Treasure Planet, the woman.
Yes.
Her. Totally not, because she was also inspiration for Artemis Arc 2.
Oh my god. Also, someone who would fit for you, from the Tangled series. I don't remember her name, but Rapunzel's best friend.
I think you've told me this as well, and I love that.
Yeah,
But
I think
I've
she would fit
Googled.
for you.
So, I think you would fit anyone who's beautiful and wonderful and amazing.
Shut
Rose, you
up.
don't ask what Treasure Planet is. Like, you'll just make me cry.
You don't know what Treasure Planet is. It's the most underrated Disney movie of all time. Watch it right fucking now. It's my favorite film ever.
This.
It's guys, Lilo and Stitch, but it takes place in space.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's not quite that, because there isn't a Stitch, but
I'm everyone's Stitch. They don't need anyone else.
I love Treasure Planet. It's my
Me
favorite
too.
movie, and I'm sad. Stitch is an alien.
Yeah, but
he's an experiment, but he's technically an alien. He could be an alien and an extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
He's an alien experiment. That counts to me.
I'm getting sad over my DMs with Mars about characters now.
Corella from the live action Corella. That's kind of fun, actually. That's kind of fun. I do quite like that.
Sorry, I sent you a DM now.
Oh.
It's a heartbreaking image for me.
Cry about it.
You can guess why. Which DMs?
Cry about it.
All of them about Artemis and Loki and Mars and Artemis, and just Artemis and Mars, just full stop.
So true.
Her son, guys. Send it to me. Oh god. Okay.
Marsarcy demands it. Marsarcy demands it.
This is what I sent to Joe. Heartbroken. But yeah, I love the lore. I love Arc 3 that's happening. You don't know what I've got planned.
It's all very exciting. I guess another thing we can talk about is how Kin assigning Kitty-Go-Burr as Baymax.
I was gonna say The Little Mermaid.
That seems a bit too on. No, wait.
No, it's
Kitty-Go-Burr is Melody from Little Mermaid, like the second one.
Sorry, I was drinking water.
Kitty-Go-Burr is Melody.
That makes sense, actually.
Exactly.
Okay, who's Sebastian?
Kitty-Go-Burr also.
Kitty-Go-Burr is the whole cat.
Kitty-Go-Burr is everything that's under the sea. Actually, I think Artemis would be Sebastian in that context.
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
my DMs with Katie, you know what they've been, but I've made Katie cry almost in positiveness, guys. Don't worry, it's /pause.
One woman show of Kitty-Go-Burr, exactly what I mean. That's so fun. That's so fun. Okay. I was gonna say, oh yes. So the server until recently was 1.19.2. As of yesterday, it updated to 1.20, and we are currently in the process of troubleshooting the final bumps and kinks and such. Not too much left that we have to do. I have a couple of textures I need to import into the texture pack for some fancy new people. eventually. Cherrywood, exactly. See, now the thing is, because the world of the seed that the Mythrill SMP is on was originally made in 1.18, it was a miracle that there was a swamp biome when we updated. Like, literally. So the world is also pre-generated, and some new structures have spawned in various places, but it doesn't happen often. There is no cherry biome. So we added in a cherry biome. It's a pretty floating island. We can't show you pictures of it yet, 'cause I personally don't have any on me. But we also have added in a custom villager who will trade for cherry wood so the island doesn't get destroyed. So you can just trade coins to get, like, cherry.
I was gonna say the villager's name, but I can't.
You can't, no.
No.
It's illegal.
Classified.
I also have set up an amethyst villager in the sanctuary because they are very fun. They are very sweet. And I used to run the amethyst shop. I no longer want to farm for amethyst, so we just have a villager for it now. And we're also going to be adding villagers for the armor trims because they won't be findable. And I realized the crafting recipes I made for them were too expensive, and I'm too lazy to change them.
I've debated because I was gonna do them. I was like, I'm fine with it. I'm fine getting the materials.
No.
You're looking out for me more than anybody.
I'm looking out for you more than anybody. If we just make the armor trims villagers, it works so much better. Because I can fix the crafting recipes to make them less expensive. But at the end of the day, it's annoying as hell.
Do you want a picture of the place? The cherry place?
You can send me a picture of the cherry place and I can show the lovely people.
I will when
give
I'm
them
there.
a little bit of a teaser. Yeah, hopefully by the end of the day, the server will be fully updated with everything that it needs and everything that we could want ever. And then I'm going to be working on the Arc 2 recap video. The audio is all recorded, the scenes have all been collected. I just have to edit them together now. And hopefully it'll get done soon.
I star in that as well, of most Mythrill members.
You know what? I want to do a poll, because I'm generally curious what people would rather I do first. So the options...
I think the option is me confessing my love for you.
Shush. What do I do first? Would you guys rather get the Arc 2 recap video or the Deities channel?
Ooh.
Which means the full art plus...
Oh, I think I know what could... I have a feeling I know what long-term viewers might be.
Yeah, so the Deities channel is art and descriptions of the deities, because the only reason that channel is so blank is because I want to get the art of the different deities done. Celine's art is done, but I'm also getting their new design finished, but that probably won't be posted until some point into Arc 3. So
yeah,
let me know what you think I should do first. Arc 2 recap video, deities, and I'll work on whichever one you guys want the most tomorrow before stream.
I will point this out, guys. The people who are playing, the Arc 2 recap might be really good, so you might be suffering potentially.
Yeah.
Maple, I can rig those votes like no tomorrow. I can just win that on my own.
Oh,
don't test
my goodness. Oh, look at them go.
But it's not me.
Already arrived, apparently. But yes, the Arc 2 recap will happen regardless. It just might take a little bit longer. I can probably crack it out in a couple of days. But yeah, I have all the sketches for the deity pictures. I just need to get Karma's done, and then I can do the rest of them, and I'll post them as they are done. But the Arc 2 recap is going to be very useful for new people to the SMP because unlike in Arc 1, there's a lot more information and not everybody has time to watch 5 podcasts talking about the lore or read the documents. So it'll be very, very useful. Wait, deities? Rose, you know who I'm talking about. Karma, Celine, Warren. They're the deities. It's my wife, Jay. I miss her a lot. I'll be back. The true deity of the server, Rose Thunder. You want to see him? You want to see the man?
You're not allowed.
You're not allowed. Not allowed. You're not allowed to see the gender fluid god that is Warren.
I body acted that man so many times, guys. You don't know. Oh, hee hee.
Tee-hee.
Tee. I'm so ready for Arc 3.
I'm
So
very excited for it.
the thing is, you know exactly why I'm looking forward to it, because I've got my. I also, spoiler warning, guys. Well, not really. I've got my Arc 3 planned out, kinda.
Here is a cherry biome though, behind lovely Elle's pretty wings. It's kind of a little hard to see, but it is a floating island with there's a waterfall down here along this side. And I won't say it's relatively close to the sanctuary on the server, but not too much. Here's another little look at the building that is up here. Wonder what that's for. Wonder who that might be for.
It's me. It's my new house.
It's your new house. We're moving in. I did set up a portal there recently. We did show the Nether Hub on the Twitter today.
Yeah, it's just as pretty.
Honestly, I can probably load up the server and show people around a little bit.
Oh my god, you should come and join me on the server.
It'll take a moment, so bear with me.
Guys, I'm here. I'm gonna change my skin quickly. Take your time, Jay. Take your time getting on the server.
Well, I will. It's gonna take a while to load up with the mod pack.
Good, because I'm changing my skin.
Good, you're adorable. It's so pretty. I will admit, I did find the schematic for the island on Minecraft Planet initially, but it was not a cherry biome. It was a like 1.16 floating island, which I then adapted. I was just too lazy to make the island, I'm gonna be honest.
You've made so many islands, it's so bad.
I've made so many floating islands for the sanctuary alone. I needed some help. But the cherry trees and all of that stuff, decorations, adapted the house, like, we've made it our own. It's gone through the works, and it's very pretty. It's very pretty, like you.
No, it's like you, because it replicates your beauty.
Does anyone have any more questions whilst I load up the server to show some of the cute new things?
I mean, I'm torturing them in theories.
Oh, what are you saying? What are you saying?
We've been discussing the colour of Artemis's magic. They've been guessing shades of blue. Because obviously her magic is
because
dark
you can't
blue.
see it.
Well, it is blue. It's dark blue. But like,
I forgot
it's
it
funny
again.
because I can't see blue.
Question is why you go so cool? Because we spend time around this great person called Rose Thunder. Their coolness just kind of rubs off on everyone he's around.
Jay, I don't know anyone called Rose Thunder. I only know Toast Thunder.
I'm gonna jump off a cliff.
That's Rose's fault.
If all the Mythrill characters got thrown into a rubber room full of rats, who would go crazy first, and why is it Marsarcy?
Honestly, you're assuming that Artemis isn't clinic actually insane.
I was gonna say Lilith, but then Lilith actually probably would go crazy the least because they're used to being locked in rooms, and their chat might as well be called rats. So, Rose, Rose, why are you so sweet? Rose,
advertisements as well.
Rose, I love you.
Oh, we were down there. Okay.
Allies are enemy. There's not even a song playing anymore.
What number are you in on the playlist? Do you play it in order or do you shuffle?
I'm doing shuffle right now, and we are at Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Arcadia Wings. For anyone who doesn't know, we're listening to the Mythrill SMP playlist, which is basically every character has about 2 to 3 songs on it that represents them, and they're all in an order that I think has been shared in the public Discord. Who is Arcadia Wins though? Who is Everybody Wants to Rule the World?
Hold on, I'm trying to find it.
I know who it is.
I only know it in the order. I don't know by the song.
I know who it is. I looked
can't
at the
find
order.
It. What's the number?
Number 6.
Oh yeah, I know who it is.
Anybody have a guess who Everybody Wants to Rule the World song is? Because I know.
Me too.
I need to fix my shit because it's all broken because I was taking screenshots in a weird aspect ratio earlier. Okay, let me fix this quickly. There we go. You just see where I spawned first before we do anything.
Yeah, in front of me.
I know where I am, but I wanna make sure I have nothing sussy on me. I just have tea bags.
You also have your love.
I just have my broken tea bags.
It's okay. I still love you.
There we go. Hello. They get a very mini view.
Oh my god, small.
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 This is what the place looks like, though. Ooh.
We worked so hard on this.
We did. What? Hit when you hit a mountain. Elle, I love you, but your wings are in the way.
It's not my fault.
It is.
It's not though. It literally isn't.
I didn't mean to make you vanish. I'm sorry.
You can blame Mars, actually. He's the one who made my wings big.
You can sit on the floor for a minute.
But I don't want to.
But you're on the floor now, so suffer.
Actually, I refuse to be on the floor.
There's not much you can do about it. This is the new spawn area for the server, though.
Yeah, it's pretty like you.
The towers are supposed to be the protection sigils that Karma was talking about with Jay. This is the new hotel. Where everybody has like there's a bunch of rooms in here, bunch of bunk bedrooms, and then the ones up at the very top are loft rooms. So they're all very, very cute. New members can stay in them until they get their own houses situated. We don't really have many rules on where to build your houses, especially since a lot of the old members live by the old spawn. But if people want to build new houses or just like squat around their old ones, that's perfectly fine. But we do have the new shopping district.
We're allowing people not to be homeless this time.
Exactly. The only buildings that have been taken right now is this one over here, which is your end shop, and also armor trims are going to be going in here. And then over here is the library, where the tea house is in the top of it. Library is at the bottom. And then in this back room over here is going to be where the tailor shop is. So I have a bunch of custom cosmetic items on the server that I 3D model for everybody, which are going to be back there. We have a couple places that we are offering to people, like Katie Go Burr had a shop that was kind of seafood restaurant themed, so we're offering them this building, and a couple of people were like, hey, this building could be nice for you, this building could be nice for you. We just need to see who wants to move their shops over, but we want to leave some of them open for new members, and if not, then we have market stalls and everything. So, you know, that's all cute.
We gave you rights.
And do we show them the new place down there, or do we keep that a secret?
I mean, we could keep it a secret because there's
I'm just going to show the path.
Oh yeah,
like, there's a path going this way now.
There's a thing.
You don't get to know what that's for yet, though. This building here is Artemis's house, also the infirmary.
I live everywhere, guys.
You live everywhere. Over there is the war room, because of course we need one of those when we're trying to fight a god. That big building is technically Karma's, but it's also my new house, so when I do a Mythrill stream, I think tomorrow, I'm going to be moving a bunch of my stuff over. I'm going to be moving house, you know. It goes to McDonald's, holy shit. So true, so true. Num 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 num. We have a seafood restaurant. We don't have McDonald's, but we have a seafood restaurant. Let's go through the Nether, though, and I can show you guys the hub, which we spent a really long time on.
Do we show them what we did today, or like around the places, or?
We can show them the more crystals.
Yeah.
We haven't quite finished that yet, but we can show people. I definitely stole the starry ceiling from somewhere. But I thought it was really cute, so I want to keep it.
I make my way here.
But this is the new Nether hub, and we have how many tunnels is it? I think it's 8. Yeah, we have 8 tunnels. Roughly. Going different directions, and also this down here leads out to the main area of the Nether, which not on this side, but over there is a blaze boss, because we have the Friends and Foes mod now, and there's the upper staircase over there that goes to it, which is very, very fun. But we kept with the theme of the Sanctuary of the Colours over here, and all of the paths have ice on them, so you can take a boat from the chest and go places faster. And they also will have a lectern, which tells you what's down there. So we have Community Skeleton Spawner, which is down here, which is to the north. And it's just right there, so it's very close by. But we have that area there so people can get XP and, you know, other stuff pretty easily. I'll turn off cinematic camera for a second. And down in the south is where everybody else's houses are and stuff from Arc 1 and 2, because everyone lives further down.
Is that the way we're going, I guess?
We can head to. I don't think Old Spawn is attached.
That's fine.
We
somewhere
can
just somewhere close, roughly.
We can show what we did to Charlie's house.
We can show Charlie's. We can show my place because I'm.
If I don't know if Maple is in the chat, but if you are, this would be a great time to send Bagel a picture of what we're doing.
Yeah.
Got to figure out. Charlie's house is all the way at the end. Off we go, off we go! We'll do a quick run through. Is Charlie's? Yes.
Meow.
Because, you know, Charlie doesn't live here anymore because of the trauma. And they gave me the go-ahead. What is this? It's the Mythrill SMP. We did some updates. We're showing them off, and we're doing Mythrill Monthly. So, you know, what is that? Not the rat. What are those?
What are those?
Little guys? Hi! It's a little guy. It's a little glass. And
we're friends now. We're besties.
And, you know,
something happened, guys.
Casual.
We had so much fun doing that.
So much fun just breaking a hole in the ceiling. Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Oh, yeah, and then there's these.
Yeah.
The old skeleton spawner's looking great.
It's looking real good right now. Looking really dead.
And the entrance to Charlie's.
My place is fully intact, guys. Don't worry about it.
Definitely, definitely. I should probably hook up the old spawn portal to the Nether Hub, but we can do that in a bit. Yeah. I am still going to be doing a monument for Arc 2 over here, but I'll probably save that for either tomorrow's stream or Sunday to sort of close off things when the applications end. This is a monument for Arc 2 though, or Arc 1 though. 1. And here's a fun thing. The script for the Arc 2... the script for the Arc 1 summary video is in here. So people can read it on the server if they haven't watched the video.
Yeah.
Which is very, very cute. And then people have already seen the crystals over there from
Let's head to my
the finale stream. But then we've got this bit over here, which, you know, little bit crystally in the event area.
Not too much though.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Did we even have your island linked up in portals?
I believe so.
I think we do.
I don't know. I've never gone through a portal. I've always TP'd over just because it's been easier for me.
I just want to pull up the minimap right now. So
no, that's so bad.
The terrace portal is broken.
Oh yeah, it always has been. The one near
Isn't it on the other side though?
I don't think so.
I think it is.
Oh, it is. It's there. Oh god, this one's a maze over here.
Well, we'll see if this works. Whee!
I think it's because there was a crystal there at one point, and then we just decided not to put
possibly.
one there.
Oh, well, yeah, it pops me out here. Where is your house?
Other way, I think. Because I'm not that close.
Yeah, that's the 3 arrows.
So it'll be that way.
Turn off my cinematic camera because it's swooshy. It's swooshy.
Okay, it is. I'm a.
I think you're the opposite.
Yeah.
I think you're in like the next tunnel.
Probably. I've always been one to live a hot second away.
You've always been one to be difficult.
I've always been difficult.
Alchemist's Island, yes. You're the first one down here.
Oh yeah, because the elven...
It feels so trippy going down here quickly.
It is.
Ooh.
Don't worry guys, the portal's intact.
Yeah, we haven't quite done putting crystals everywhere to sort of mark that trouble has been brewing, but the island definitely got hit a bit.
Yeah, my favorite thing's the church though. Sorry guys, the church got hit.
I like the docks though.
Yeah, the
also,
docks.
The skulk spreading rapidly.
Yeah, it's fine, guys. She will still say it's fine
over there. It's fine.
That's the docks is my favorite thing.
Lot of crystals. They just go straight through the buildings.
Yeah, that's what I did. I went, I love these builds. However, what if I just put crystals through them?
It's very, very fun. We still have some more work to do, but we're very close to
My
completing.
favorite thing is this side of the island destroyed in shatters, pieces. The other side, however, it's doing okay.
Doing all right. It hasn't been finished.
I'm not gonna put as I don't think I'm gonna put as many crystals over here.
Maybe just put like less through the buildings. Maybe just put them like, around
I don't
the
want
buildings.
them. Oh yeah, I'm sorry to say, guys, all the animals perished in the for warning of this.
Yeah, I mean the sheep are still there and the cows, but Elle did a
Oh
genocide.
yeah, my animals, my pets, my nice ones, not the free roaming ones.
You're so mean. You're so mean.
I lost one cat and went, okay, you're all going now.
Should I give a little overview of the Cherry Island? Just from a distance. Okay, I'm gonna teleport over there because I'm lazy. I say I'm not gonna do that, and then I'm like, I'm gonna do that.
I shall teleport though.
This gets cinematic camera because it's pretty.
Yeah. Let me.
This is the Cherry Island, the only place that is cherry blossom on the entire server.
It's my favorite thing. I wonder.
It's got a cute little building, some big trees which were custom built, and then some little trees which spawned in. That little thing there is the portal behind those petals. But yeah, it's very cute. There's a little updates and stuff. We wanted to really add some more stuff to the server to get people interested in playing, and the server's been going for a year, so I think it's important to do a drastic update in order to revitalize some of the older members who have been here a long time and have kind of done everything that's to be done already. Like, I've been struggling to think of casual things to do on the server for a while, but this update has given me more ideas and a little bit more leeway of things to work on.
The best thing is, I destroyed all my buildings, so I have to rebuild things now.
You now have to rebuild everything.
I'm building a new tavern, guys. I think it's a statement that I have to make a tavern each arc. I've done it twice. I have to do it one last time.
And we also have a new spawn command, so all members can teleport to spawn easily. We actually do need to test that quickly, but we'll do that eventually.
Is it /spawn?
It's /essentials command spawn.
Oh, yeah.
And we can show, well, the skeleton spawner isn't too interesting. It's just skeleton spawner, but the access point is this tower here.
Oh,
might need an easier staircase up.
There is no staircase. I didn't build one.
Might need a staircase up.
Yeah, I might do one. Depends
how much tunnels you said you were gonna do.
Yeah, so this is the thing. If you look between that, the middle tower and the one where it's got to come from, there's a gap in like thing. So I'm gonna have to like potentially rebuild a mountain and build a mountain, not rebuild. Make a tunnel.
Okay. We'll just add a nether portal. In to the skeleton spawner. I think I put one down already. I'm not sure if I actually.
Yeah, there's one.
There's one already. I just forgot.
But we did it earlier.
We did. I'm just forgetful.
I just want people to suffer. That's my thing, guys. Don't worry about it.
People to suffer? Well, I don't want you to suffer, I say as I hold a flint and steel in my hands, very menacingly.
I mean, I have a really sharp knife on Pridecraft.
You stole my sharp knife from Pridecraft.
Actually, I didn't steal it. I asked for it and Izzy gave me one.
Izzy gave it to you when I told them not to.
Yeah, but Izzy's the owner, so like, haha.
Okay, well, I think we're coming to an end of the stream, but we'll pause for a minute to see if anyone has any more questions, because we want to make sure we answer as many as possible. Anything to do with the SMP or applications or lore? Always happy. Can you have a Fiverr? No, but I can give you the link to the website Fiverr. Ideas for you after stream. Oh, Marsarcy, am I going to be well fed? Marsarcy? Oh, I'm excited.
Can I have them, Mars, please?
Marsarcy, can I give you a hug?
I gave Mars something, so I think I deserve something back. I also have stuff for you, and we have stuff to do potentially.
We do have stuff to do. Marsarcy will consider it. Marsarcy considers
Don't consider it.
many
I just
things.
gave you like the best thing in the world right now. Just saying.
I am very tired after this, though. I think we did good.
That's
we
so
did
best.
good. We have
You did
a
amazing.
lot more to work on. Thank you for the direction of I should do that artwork. Because I definitely haven't been procrastinating it for a very long time.
That's solid. I love you.
Definitely.
You're so wonderful.
Haven't had Karma's art done since the beginning of Arc 2 and just haven't finished it. A bit ago with a question about them. When did they end? The 27th, which is Sunday. It has been said in multiple places, I believe in the Discord and also on the Twitter. But yeah, 27th is when applications close officially. And after applications close, we will be reaching out to our favorite applicants for interviews. And then after conducting those interviews, we will be inviting those members. So yeah, that is the game plan of what's going to be happening. So hopefully new members will be on the server and be added by the beginning of September. That is the next month. And we'll be doing announcements of who those new members are on the Twitter once we have them, and it'll be very, very fun. What kind of interviews would they be? They would be relatively light-hearted interviews. The way that we usually do it is we reach out to people, organize a time, and we preferably prefer to VC potential members to have a conversation and just ask a few casual questions about them, the stuff that they do, what they enjoy, their lore plans, just a bit more in-depth than the interview is to really gauge what people are like. We do also offer the option for DM interviews where we just give you the questions and you can respond to them, but we do prefer people who are available to VC. Just because it gives you a better idea of who a person is and you can actually talk to them. But that's how we did it for all of our Arc 1 and 2 members, and that's how we plan to do it going forward. But yeah, it's very chill and casual. Like, the word interview can be quite scary, but they are very chill.
It's like formal but casual like conversation. But
it's like you'll show up, we'll say hi, how are you, introduce yourself, and then I'll start making dick jokes about halfway through.
And then I'll be there for moral support.
From me, because you have to put up with me.
Yeah.
Elle can attest it was very chill.
Yeah, I can't my interview was very they're like, can you VC, are you you free? I'm like, yeah. It was very chill. Everyone's lovely.
The main difficulty with them is time zones, since we are both BST.
Don't worry.
Planning can be a little bit difficult.
Guys, don't worry. I will stay up for you guys. You American over there? I'm looking at you Americans and Australians. I'm looking at you.
Looking at you. I'm looking at you and your pretty face. I love this song.
I think, is that it? What songs just come on?
Dear Fellow Traveller.
Oh my god, I wonder who that's
for. That is the song that has just come on.
I wonder who it's for.
I wonder who it's for. I do see one of our members is live, but they are not streaming on the server.
Yeah.
We could send people over to them though, if you think, or we could just do a little boop.
I think we could send them over because it's like, even though we're doing the Mythrill stuff, it's been a bit more casual today a little bit.
Yeah, it's been pretty chill. All right. That'll be the
I
end
also love
of
them
the
as well.
SMP for well, not the SMP. The SMP
yeah,
is
guys,
ending.
the SMP is ending now, guys.
No, shut. That's going to be the end of Mythrill Monthly for today. Reminder, we are going to be putting this up on the Mythrill YouTube channel, so if you want to watch it from the beginning, you can go and check it out there, as well as all other 4 episodes of the Mythrill podcast. Join the Discord if you haven't already, because soon I will be updating the deities document with more information on them for your viewing pleasure. I simply have to do the art first, but I'll be working on that come tomorrow, so hopefully at least Karma's will be out soon. Celine's probably as well, because I can't show you her true form quite yet. That'll be for later. And then Warren's will probably take the longest to come out, but you'll see it eventually.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
Boy.
Mars, I'm always feeling it. I'm always hyped for the lore. I need it. I need it. But yes, I want to say a big special thank you to once again to Sky for making our intro and outro music, which we'll switch over to the outro scene in just a moment. As well as a big thank you for Elle for being my lovely guest today and co-host and just being an amazing person. And then a big thank you to Mars in the chat. We love Marsarcy. He is so wonderful and he made our PNGs and likes to do a little art for the server every now and then. We love him. We love him. But we are going to bop a raid over to Bagel, who is one of our server members. They play the character Lilith. So I recommend you go give them a follow, give them a hi, give them a little smooch on the face. And we will see you all later. Bye-bye. Elle, say bye.
Bye-bye.
God fucking damn it, Elle. Sorry, I just like to end it that way.